football, culture, movement.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of FCM. You already know what time it is. I'm back. I've arrived back.
After bottling. After losing.
Hey. We're all Nigerians here. We're all Nigerians here. Calma. I know you want to dunk, but calma, come on. We're all Nigerians.
I'm back after heartbreak. After crying on the plane back, wiping my tears. Man said, it don't cast. Listen, man. But I'm back. You already know what time it is. FCM in the building. Got a little bit of a change there. Obviously, I know you're used to seeing the podcast in Pepe, but he's not with us. But we have the henchest footballing creator. I'm definitely the henchest football content creator there is. We've got the one and only Tapping Tobes. You already know what time it is.
My guy. Let's go.
It is.
Long overdue, man.
It is. I've been an avid fan.
Welcome to the madhouse.
Is it your first time here?
Yes, it's
first time. Yeah.
It's been long overdue, man. We're gonna have a bit of fun today. I know we're all wearing dark colours, but we're gonna bring some colour to things, man. Of course, the cult hero, the boy himself, fresh off the interview with a club legend,
Wayne
Rooney's best friend.
Wayne Rooney hype.
Wazza.
You were gushing, innit?
I call him Wazza.
You were gushing, innit?
I call him Wazza. He said, mate, don't call me Wayne. Call me Wazza. I said, Wazza, you're right, mate. How are you? So it's big. It was a big moment, though.
So we're telling you, we've had Rio, we've had Rooney.
Ledley King, don't forget Ledley King.
No, but
No,
United,
Man
we're in it.
United.
Okay.
Right.
What's the next R?
I'm looking for Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Ooh.
I'm looking for Ruud. I'm looking for you, bruv.
Ooh.
That's
looking
hot.
for you.
That's hot.
I hear it. But listen, guys, remember, like, share, subscribe, algorithm, smash the like button. Let us know what you're thinking. Super chat, send them in. We've got a lot to talk about today, and trust me, it's going to be a good show. But listen, it's only right we start with the game that just happened. In fact, before we even get into that, look at me forgetting myself. Been away for 1 week, I'm forgetting.
Look at you. Hey,
listen,
people.
Man.
What's going on?
Listen, man. You know what happens, man? Two teams play football. One team has to win.
Thank you.
If your team won this week, hold tight the 3 point collectors, wherever you are.
Let's go. 3 points. 3 points worldwide. Enjoy your weekend, people.
At the end of the weekend.
Damn.
Listen, if you participated as well, listen, man, your team showed up. You participated. Hold tight the participants as well. Hold tight the losers as well, man. Listen, man, you man had to turn up as well. But listen, let's get into it. Manchester United 2-1 against Luton. There's a few things here. There's the performance. There's the context of the season where it puts you guys 3 points behind Spurs. But where I would like to start is the boy, Rasmus.
Yeah.
Youngest ever player to score 6 goals in a row in the Premier League.
Wow.
He's on 7 goals now because he got a brace today. Instinctive finish. The first goal, he kind of made it from himself from opportunity. How are you feeling? Do you feel like you have a Manchester United number 9 now?
I mean, yeah. You do feel like you have a United 9. And the thing is, it's important to remember that he's still young. You know what I mean? Obviously, you just talked about a record with his age. Do you know what I mean? He's still a young player, but he's making the most of what he can. And that's all you can really ask for. Do you know what I mean? Because we know Man United, it's up and down. You don't know what we're going to get. What we're requiring him to do is take his chances. That's it. Take the chance that comes to you. And at the moment, he's doing that. Now, you look at the 14 games that he didn't score. He was wrestling with defenders. He wasn't peeling off them. The chances weren't being created at fluent rate. So we were getting concerned. But at the same time, a lot of United fans, the one thing I will give United fans is nobody really wavered. A lot of United fans still said, this guy's good, man. He's got the tools. Look at him in transition. Because let's not forget, he didn't score in 14 Premier League games. He still scored 5 in the Champions League. So it's not like we hadn't seen him do anything for the whole season. We had seen a little bit. But the most important thing is now he's putting the ball back in there. And he said it himself. He's confident now. You know what I mean? To even do that flick, that comes from confidence. Now your instincts is just kicking in like it's nothing. So I think he had a shot after he scored the 2 goals. I think it's like 7 goals in his last 11 shots or something like that. I mean, now on paper, that sounds like a purple patch. You know what I mean? And then we have to actually see if this is going to be a sustainable thing. You can't put too much pressure on a recently turned 21-year-old. But it's encouraging signs, bruv. Rasmus scoring Inject it, bro. Literally, inject it.
He's a good prospect. He's a good prospect, man, because I really liked him at when he was at Atalanta, and I was a bit annoyed that he signed for United, but I was also a bit concerned for him when he signed for United because it's a lot of pressure, big price tag, and there's no senior striker to sort of help take the pressure off you, right? You basically have to bang or United are pissed. And I do think in recent weeks where he wasn't scoring, I felt like it wasn't just the fact that he wasn't scoring, like you said. His movement wasn't really that great. And most importantly, I don't think he was doing as well as he could in his facilitation for Man United, like bringing people into play. I think now with Rasmus Højlund, he's no longer playing bad and he's facilitating and he's scoring as well. So I think within his own right, he's doing everything in his power to make his United career as good as it can be. And everything that's in his control, he's doing well at it right now. I think everything else that's not in his control, that's obviously with Ten Hag and Garnacho and Rashford to deal with. But everything that's in his control now, I think right now he's dealing with it quite well, man.
The most important thing, most Man United fans will say is, we're looking to see who's going to be our team of the future, who's going to be part of the team. You're probably in the same position as well with Chelsea because you've got so many, but who's really going to stay? We're in that position right now. Who are the players that in 3 years are still going to be part of Man United and we're happy that they play for our club? Do you know what I mean? Kobe's obviously coming through. Garnacho's there. You've got Højlund now. And there's a few. Lissandro always being around. I personally always rated Dalot and stuff. So there's a few players that you look at and you're like, maybe you could be part of something successful. And that's all that Manchester United fans want. And that's what Højlund is. And that's why when I say Højlund goals hit like crack, because I know he's going to be there for our next couple of years. It's the players where you're like, are you even going to be part of Manchester United? And you're seeing them here still messing about, doing this, doing that. That's the concerning point. So when Manchester United see a player applying himself, he's young, uphill signing. That's the most important thing because we're going to talk about Harry Kane later. It's all hindsight. But now you look in hindsight. Imagine if we had but real talks though. It's all hindsight. Imagine if you had a similar season, not similar season, but all right, you're third-ish, fourth with Harry Kane. And then what, in 1-2 seasons, it turns around and then people start saying, oh, he's declining and that. We'll be in the same situation that we were with Casemiro. Just saying. So now what Manchester United need to do going forward is be signing more uphill players. Now, it doesn't mean it all has to be a 20-year-old. It could be a 24-year-old. It could be somebody just entering their prime. But that's what we need to do, uphill signings. And at the moment, Højlund looks like a good one.
Do you know what I say, though? I think, like, whilst all of that's true, the one thing I'll say about football is there's nothing that hits like when your striker's flourishing at any level. Like, fans want to see strikers scoring goals. Like, you can have a young midfielder breaking through or a young centre-half doing this, but your striker scoring goals, it hits different. And I feel like, especially with this season, the Liverpool fans have had that moment with Núñez where it's like, look at what he's doing across all camps. You've had Arsenal fans that have had little moments with Havertz, like Havertz is doing stuff for us. You've had Chelsea fans, Nico Jackson getting a hat-trick and everything. Rasmus being in this moment and what it does for United is different because Maino's been great for you guys. Great. But having your striker that you spent how much on, actually delivering for you guys and looking like he's only going to get better and better, that just gives you a different feeling. And I feel like with United, it's so weird because whilst there's so much great to always look forward to, United always in this situation where it's results or performance. Where do we want to be? What's going to help us? Where are we going long term? Because again, you said off mic, which was a great point. You don't look at teams and say that teams are supposed to control games, but you watch United games and you think, why is it just
It's always
kamikaze?
Chaos. It's always chaos. It's the way it is. And look, some people are gonna say it's the way we set up. You know, it's the manager thing. And look, everybody knows I've been on here talking about the manager. I've been on here talking about the manager. I talk about the players. I talk about them equally. I don't have an agenda against the players. I don't have an agenda against the manager. But there's sometimes I look at it and I'm like, it's impossible you can control games with these players, bro. It's impossible. That's just how I see it. Some of these players out there, I'm like, how do we plan on controlling games with these guys doing things? Like, so many times, obviously, a manager's key. A manager's super important. But we act like we're all playing on a PS4 sometimes, bro. You cannot control every... Can Ten Hag control Casemiro on a booking, taking a horrific touch, fouling the man, should have been a second yellow, all of a sudden Luton probably go on and win that game? You can't control these type of things. We don't have calm, composed players. And Gary Neville said it. Kobe Mainoo is the only player, and he emphasized, only player that in these moments seems to have composure, seems to be calm. And why is that? That's because that's the type of player he is. So personnel matters as well. It really does. And look, the Ten Hag ins, Ten Hag's out, that's going to be going on all season, whatever. But at the same time, these players, man, I just got to say, these players are not good enough, bro. We want control, we can't control. Simple.
But I think with that in mind, then, he's been there for, 18, 19 months now. He's had first-hand glimpse at these players and their inability to control games. And I don't think he's done enough I don't think he's done enough with the power he has at the club to change that, right? So when I look at your summer spending, when I look at the players that he's recruited, he's not brought in players to help Man United gain control in matches. When I look at the way you lot set up, how you deal with the opposition, how you plan for the opposition, I don't think he does enough in how he approaches these games to help Man United regain control, right? And I feel like it's difficult because I do hear your point. You look at players, obviously, a midfield of Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, they're turnover demons. Then you're not going to control games of football with these guys. There, you got McTominay, who's thrown into the mix, who's basically, he's not a midfielder. He's literally there to do a Souček. He's a Scottish Souček. Let's be real. And then it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. And then it's the. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Is he not doing now what Souček was doing 2 years ago when everyone was raving about Souček? Yeah. And then out wide as well. You don't have enough wide players who can retain the ball. So I feel like Ten Hag, again, we were saying it off air. Ten Hag is an architect of his own downfall.
I agree.
I don't think he's done enough in his power, with the money he's been given, with the reins he's been given, to mold this team into a team that doesn't get into situations where they're getting outplayed for large stretches of the match. Doesn't get into a situation where he's having to fight for his life every week. It's not good enough.
That's my main thing about Ten Hag. Everyone, you've seen me say it on here. My main thing about Erik Ten Hag is how bad them signings, in my opinion, majority of them are meaty signings, right? And that's my issue, because if you did want to mold your team in your image or whatever, now look, he says we want to be the best transitional team in the world, right? Fair enough, if that's the case. But that doesn't mean transitional teams do, transitional, people seem to think transition just means sit back and counterattack. Liverpool under Klopp at their best were a transitional team, bro. But they still control games. They'll walk away from the games 60%, 70% possession. But when you mean transitional, that means you're winning the ball high up the pitch, you're turning teams over, and then you're winning. That transition doesn't just mean you have to go from your goal to their goal, and then that's how you score. But then if that's the case, then why are you not signing peak primed athletes? We're signing Eriksen's, we're signing it. No, but it's the truth. We're not signing peak primed athletes. So if you're gonna control the games and stuff, cool, you're gonna sign technically secure players and stuff. But if you're not, then you're gonna sign peak primed athletes. And we don't have either. So we're in the middle right here. As I always say, we can't press and be consistent with that press and actually turn teams over and be transitional, and we can't control. We're in the middle. So that's why I'm on to Ten Hag a little bit. Now, the new ownership has happened. You're getting in all these men. You're getting in all this recruitment. Now, look, the reports came out that we're going to probably stick with him, see what happens, right, with Ten Hag. If the new board want to do that, then I'll support it. I'm not going to be that type. No, for real. I'm not that one of being them type of people that immediately I'm screaming board out and all that nonsense, right? I will see Wagwan. I'll see how they support him. And then we'll come again in January or something and see what happens next season.
Are you lot the first team to have partial ownership bounce?
Sir Jim bounce, yeah?
Partial ownership bounce.
Four straight Premier League wins now.
Marginal gains bounce.
Marginal gains. Sir Dave. Sir Jim. Omar.
Omar.
Omar's coming.
Omar coming.
No, but what I want to discuss is, it was the quote that came out from Ten Hag, and he was saying basically that he feels like a director of football something should be aligned to how he's aligned.
100%.
And everyone was kind of like, does he know?
Who said that about Ten Hag?
Yeah, Ten Hag.
Does he know? He got mad clickbait.
Does he know?
He got clickbaited there. Like, he is saying the fact, look, the only thing, the board will not keep Ten Hag unless he's on their wavelength, unless they all create a plan. And that's why I say I'll support it. Because if they keep him, that means I'm assuming they've all spoken. They said, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to operate. And everyone shook hands and said, this is how we're going to move forward. So that's why I'll support it. But obviously, if you start getting reports where it's like, Dave wants this guy and then Omar wants it, then it's an absolute shit show. But
Yeah.
if they sit there and say Ten Hag we're all on the same page, we're gonna take over the recruitment, you're gonna stick to the coaching, you're gonna let us who should stay, who should go, and that's how we're gonna operate, then great, because people seem to think that it's so hard to be a good team. I hate when I hear stuff like it's gonna be 10 years until Man United are good again. It's gonna be 10 years. It does not take 10 years to be a good team, bro. It's not that, in my opinion, it's not that hard to be a good team in this league, bro. It's not.
Is that because of the quality of the league or just in general?
Man United in our banter era have finished second twice, and we were dogs. We were dogs.
And plus, it's the resources and the stature that comes with their club as well. Like Man United have enough at their disposal to have made themselves into a much better footballing side.
You man spent that billion on some BS.
We've spent money. We've been run. Man United have been run horribly, and people are only realizing now when you're seeing all these recruitment talks. People are like, "Wait, United didn't have this. They didn't have this." And we've been trying to tell y'all. We've been trying to tell y'all.
That Dan Murtaugh guy, man, he's done a number on your club. Man. It's mad, bro.
It's Ed Woodward. I will find,
and Woodward as well. Yeah,
them two. But they all came from the same union, innit? Bristol, they're all besties. Whatever, doing whatever they want to do, but it was an old boys club. Like genuinely, it was an old boys club. We've been trying to tell people we are not run the right way, and people just think blah blah blah. You spent $1 billion, but yeah, when doofuses are spending $1 billion, it doesn't mean it's gonna be spent right. Arsenal patterned up their little situation with Josh Kroenke, Edu. All of a sudden, within 3 years, remember when people were speaking like City and Liverpool can never be caught. It's impossible with Klopp and Pep here. It's impossible to get. Arsenal are right there now, right in the mix. It's not. People over exaggerate how difficult it is to be a good team in this league. It's not that difficult. I think
it's not difficult per se. I just think it's difficult at United because of the way in which your club has been ran and the structure behind the scenes is bad.
Yeah.
But I guess now you see the guys like Dan Ashworth, and like obviously from what I read, he seems astute. Like he seems good at his job. But again, I think with United, it's more of a seeing as believing thing. And I'm not saying this to hate. I'm saying it just because you need to see how things pan out, because Man United it's a difficult club to sort of like take the reign, take it, control it, and try and mold it. Like many people have tried to do it since Fergie has left, and it's not worked out well.
The operation has been
you have to see
poor.
it.
Poor, 100%.
The operation
You have to
has
see
been
it.
poor. You've all watched. We all watched All or Nothing Arsenal. We all watched All or Nothing City. I didn't really watch too much of Spurs' one, but it was mainly Jose.
That was the
Jose
It was the Jose show.
You know what I mean?
Not
But
for
we
me.
saw the background work that it takes, that we
Yeah.
saw with City, how streamlined it is. We saw with how passionate Edu, Kroenke's are in supporting Arteta's vision. Like, it's all streamlined. We need that, bro. We haven't had that. And no surprise, Arsenal are where they are. They're making the right decision. They're making the right signings, which is thoroughly thought through. You know what I mean? Man are saying they spent we looked at 804 right backs and spent 50 million on Wan-Bissaka. You telling me that what? Listen, I need to see how that was created. I'm not even trying to dig out Wan-Bissaka, but it's just like it doesn't make sense.
You can't go anywhere without a plan.
It doesn't make sense.
You can't go anywhere without a plan. But,
But it's a truth, though, innit? How is that a thing? How is that possible?
do you know what's so mad about it is that as well? You remember, he played the Euros and he got the red card, so they knocked off 5 million for you. So you man would have paid 55,
we paid
60.
50 million for English tax, and he didn't even get an England cap. You paid 50 million for Congo tax.
Well, Eddie Caddy taxing them, man.
Bro, like,
PK, man, 50 mil for PK humble tax.
it's insane. It's actually insane.
Hey, don't kill me. Let me
really
go to
like
some
this
super
stuff
chats,
that
man. So Ethan De Villas says, leave Bruno at Luton and bring Barkley to OT cams.
Barkley?
Yeah.
Nah, please. I just said uphill signings. Bro. Come on, guys.
Speaking of like performances and that, no, like the Congo was out there looking like Prime Pogba.
He looked good.
Sambi.
But Man United again. I think he played well, but again, it's Man United making
Midfield.
people look.
No, 100%.
Career nights. Every midfielder.
The Congo was good.
That's a
Barkley was good
career
today.
net. We've got one from Eli which says, Cams, Barkley or Bruno, don't lie. The most high is watching.
What we say?
Barkley or Bruno, don't lie. The most high is watching.
I like Barkley. I like Barkley. Real talks.
What else have we got here? We've got Mike which says, this brother Hoyland has a 60% conversion rate. Mad. That reminds me of your boy. Remember when Pavlenko had that run?
Pavlyuchenko.
Yeah, Pavlyuchenko. He was going
Hot.
crazy.
Hot.
Every time he shot, goal.
Hot.
Yeah.
Mad.
But we need to be getting him in more shots. I posted it earlier how many shots. I think Haaland has taken 50 more shots than than Højlund this season. Now listen, shots
50?
doesn't mean shot quality, but at the same time, man, we now strikers shooting more, bro. Like Bruno and Rashford were in the 50s. Højlund was in the 20s. I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't right. And then Nunes and Haaland are in 70s. After yesterday, Haaland's probably in deep 80s. It's crazy, bro.
We've got DOF, which is probably director of football, which says, how long can ETH keep scamming results? Midfield duos stink. Wingers lack any IQ and technical ability. Hope Ineos falls for giving ETH a deal.
I can't lie. I don't think United did scam the result today. Like, I don't think they played well. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they played well, but
It's not an easy place to go to, man.
Not even just that. Luton gave as good as they got in the first half. I felt Luton shouldn't have been losing heading into half time. But second half, I felt like, obviously, inevitably, Luton put more bodies forward, committed more bodies forward.
So the
and
breakaway
United, I felt because they got all the players that were booked in the first half off the pitch, they were able to defend better and they were hitting Luton on the counter. And to be honest, as good as Luton played, they're fortunate that the game ended 2-1. It could have ended 3-1. It could have ended 4-1. So, and that's what you expect that in terms of chance creation, right? But what you don't expect is for Man United to be bossed off the ball by Luton. Like that one, I'm not even a snub for like, oh my God, my team has to be ultra controlling, etc. But like, this is Man United Football Club. You can't be coming to Kenilworth Road and you're being bossed off the ball. Like, there has to be some sort of standard.
That's that championship.
It has to be.
That's
like,
that championship style, though. Like,
you look
right
at
on people's faces.
Yeah, but you look at Arsenal drop points there. No, Arsenal won, sorry, in the last minute. Liverpool dropped points and stuff. But if you look at the statistics and stuff, 70% possession, it was still domination. They outpossessed us today, which is incredible, bro. And that's what we're used to. Hey, yo, but Tobes, the chat are asking, is this Tobes or is this Tosin?
Why?
They're saying you're too logical today. They're saying you're too logical.
When am I not logical?
They're saying Tosin's the logical Arsenal.
When am I
the
not
logical
logical?
fan.
When am I not logical? These are haters, bro. When am I not logical?
The thing is, I can't tell people, so we're giving you what we can give you.
When am I not logical? I want this chat to... The thing is, you know what it is with the chat? I'm sure most of them are Arsenal fans, and they don't like what I have to say about Havertz. If it's Liverpool, they don't like what I like. Sometimes I don't like the way Klopp reacts in press conferences. I hate a lot of football players.
Man said, raise the face cap, Tosin.
I hate a lot of football players. So that's why they're probably getting at me.
Speak what we were saying before. So Diallo said, speak on Luton, brave or naive, big up Lasungu. I like the way Luton...
Brave.
Yeah, I don't think it's naive, babe. I think they have a game plan. They stick to it, especially at Kenilworth Road. They know what they're doing. I think they missed a few, what's it called? Thing dropped out before the game of injury.
Adebayo,
They missed Adebayo today. Chong doesn't usually start. It's... What's my man's name?
Turned into flipping Gareth Bale today.
What, Chong?
Yeah. I can't believe it.
What's going on there?
He was decent.
Yeah, that's not their usual start lineup. So like, but I feel like with what they've got at their disposal and whatnot, like Luton are Luton, man. Like,
I agree.
I think they can keep pushing on and like maybe try and get results for your head. Their run coming up though is not conducive though. If they start getting a few losses, it looks spooky. But I mean, I like Luton, man. I like the way they attack stuff. Yeah. Speaking of Tobes though, we've got a few super chats here. One is from Bill's 10, which says, Tobias, a little bottle, and they're singing, after all of your United slander, you better not let us finish above you. You must.
Now listen, we're going to speak about Spurs, but yo, don't let us creep up on you. That's kind of crazy,
We can speak on Spurs.
That's kind of crazy.
And the thing is, they say United slander. I'm saying the same thing that their fans are saying. I'm saying the same thing you're saying.
AK Dash says the same thing. Tobes, don't let us finish above you. We will come for you.
Calm. You know what they say? You know what Josie said about poets, boy?
Calm.
Don't let Ange turn out to be the newest poet, you know?
Calm.
Poets don't win many trophies, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, leave Big Angelo in, yeah. Leave Big Angelo.
But listen, I think it's only right. Let's go into Arsenal. We can
go into Spurs. Let's go into Spurs.
Should we go Spurs?
Yeah, let's go.
Talk Chelsea.
As it was carried on. Follow on from the super chat.
Let's go into Spurs. What happened, man?
They outplayed us. And I don't mean they outplayed us in terms of like, oh my God, they dominated the ball. They were winning every 50-50. They outplayed us because they had a game plan to not only stifle what we do best, but they had a game plan to also hurt us at what we don't do well. And that culminated in them winning the game 2-1. I think it was a poor game all round for Spurs. I don't think any player can come out of that game with any sort of credit outside of the two centre-backs and Vicario. I think literally everyone played poorly. The midfield was poor. That was probably James Maddison's worst game in the Spurs shirt. Like, I'll say that. Like, he was poor.
Maddison's having his annual sort of...
They're saying that they're saying that he's had a James Rodriguez run.
No.
That's it.
Let's not do this.
That's enough,
bro.
Let's not do this because I'm very clear on what I'm saying, right? That was his worst game in a Spurs shirt. That does not mean, James Maddison is in bad form. He only came back from injury, we're talking 3 weeks ago. Since he's come back from injury, he had a really good game against Brentford in the game we won 3-2. He had an okay game against Everton, not great in the first half, good in the second half. He had an okay game against Brighton. I think there's too much hyperbole with James Maddison, and it's to be expected because the way he was jugging, we were talking, because he is a baller. He was talking, but obviously he's compared to Odegaard, right? He's compared to Bruno and stuff. So when he's not playing to a certain standard, the Sharks are going to be out trying to nibble at every single thing they can nibble at. But it's not going to work with me because I know a baller when I see one. And I'm saying he objectively played bad in the Spurs shirt the other day. But he wasn't the only one. Richarlison was awful. Son was bad. Kulusevski was bad. Basuma, poor in the second half. The fullbacks that got put into the team playing inverted, poor. Even Ange. I love Ange. I think he's done a great job this season. But even Ange, I think he has to take some accountability for how we were unable to counteract what Wolves threw at us yesterday.
But do you think, like, what? Firstly, I don't think Richarlison should be playing up front when Son is fit. Like, Son is fit and back. I think you're sacrificing Son. Like, Richarlison's been in good form. But who's most likely that when he scores goals are going to win you games? It's Son. We've seen it his whole Spurs career. He was doing it earlier in the season. I don't think that he should be playing. Son as a left winger, it's 2024. It's done. You are not a left winger no more, brother. You're not. You're a nine.
There's a reason, though. There's a reason. Like,
what's the reason?
So the way with Ange Ball, I've done a bit of studying, you know. With the way they create chances, it's always chances that come in and it's like first or second touch finishes. And Richarlison's conversion from them is out of this world. Like, he constantly just does it.
Son does it as well. Son does it as well. In history, bro.
But you're saying XG. I'm talking about that one. There's a specific like one touch finish. If you look at most of Richarlison's goals, he's coming onto the ball and just striking it and it's a goal. Where Son's a cultured finisher. He's coming from deep and then he's slotting the ball. And I think because of the way you play with your wide players, that's why he's utilised. And that's how Ange uses a striker typically. I get what you're saying, but there's definitely a reason for the way he wants to utilize his squad that he's using.
Do you know what the real reason is? The real reason is our attack is not good. It's meaty. Our attack is meaty, and unfortunately, he has to play the guys that are in form. Richarlison has had the hot hand in recent weeks. He's got 7 goals in these last 9 games. He has to play, and if that means Son has to get sacrificed to the left, I agree with you. Listen, I honestly, I agree with you. Son isn't. He's not. The way in 2024, Son is not like a winger per se. Like, he can't isolate players and burn them regularly. Like, and he can't really retain the ball well. But what Son can do is he can clap goals, and he's got whatever we think of Son. He's got more quality on the left than Richarlison has. He's got more quality on the left than Werner has. He's got more quality on the left than Brennan Johnson has. So my issue with Tottenham is we've pigeonholed ourselves into this mediocre attack this season, and it's not just a thing that I'm just saying now. I think I would say about roughly 80% of Spurs fans I've spoken to since summer have spoken about how this attack is our kryptonite. It is literally our kryptonite. And Son has to play in this team on the left-hand side because Richarlison is outscoring Werner. Richarlison is outscoring Johnson. Right? Richarlison is outscoring Kulusevski. The only person that Richarlison hasn't outscored in recent weeks is Son.
Yeah, but at the start of the season, what was the front three?
The front three was Kulusevski,
Richarlison.
It was Kulusevski, Richarlison, and Son out on the left.
Maddison was behind, and Maddison and Son had that understanding. So those chances were
when
coming
was
from
Son
wide.
playing 9? He was playing 9 at some point.
Yeah. So he moved into the 9. He moved into the 9
later
against Burnley. So that was probably probably third or fourth game.
And
into
it started
the season.
popping from there.
Yeah, he started popping.
But it's the Maddison relationship is a key thing of why it was popping. They've not had a reasoning.
Yeah, so put him back 9 and they might have a reasoning again.
We can't. The thing is, if we put him back 9, that means we have to play Werner on the left, or we have to play Richarlison on the left. It's gonna be a drop.
I'd play Richarlison on the left.
I wouldn't. He's not good on the left. Son, he can't come. The thing is with Son can make good runs. Can make good runs on the left-hand side, can come in on the inside and can angle a shot. Son can make his own goals. Richarlison can't make his own goals. Werner can't make his own goals. And yes, it's a sacrifice that we have to take right now. But long-term, you're right. In the summer, you think I want Son playing left wing? I know next season, I want Son to be starting up front. I want him to be starting up front. I wanted that to be the case this season, but we didn't do enough in the summer and January transfer window to bolster our wide positions. We didn't do enough.
So my thing, you see with Spurs, right? Obviously, we speak to Fuad, but you and Fuad are different type of fans anyway. Like, you guys have different views, which is good. You guys have different views. You see the Spurs defense, right? Obviously, you had some injuries and stuff, but we know the defense. Porro, Van de Ven, Romero, and Udogie, right? And you have Basuma in front. Now, you would expect, and Rocario, now, you would expect them 7 players that I just mentioned or whatever to still be the ones that are going to be, or the 6 players are still going to be the ones that are there next season, starting probably regularly next game. Don't you think defensively, you lot are just too open? Defensively, you guys are conceding way too many chances, and teams are having too much of an opportunity to either transition you guys or just go over the top, and you have to do the Van de Ven heroics and stuff. But I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it's not like this is a patched up. It's not, okay, there is instances, but it's not like, oh, next season, it's not Romero. It's going to be a new centre-half, or it's going to be, this should be your back 6 for a long time. And I'm like, it's way too weak. It's way too flimsy.
But for me, it's the set piece thing that's worrying. I'm looking at that and I'm like, first it was people being physical on Vicario and everything and just trying to, but that corner that was conceded yesterday, that wasn't even anyone imposing Vicario. That was just you lot not being able to mark or organize. That's worrying.
So we do like zone. So we do zonal marking, right? And sometimes we've been caught out, especially the last couple of games. We've been caught out. The one yesterday from João Gomez, like, he's not even that tall.
Not tall.
Like, he's big, like that one is really, really bad. Someone needs to take responsibility there. But on your point, I do think we are open. I genuinely do. But I think that's a consequence of how the manager wants to set us up. And I'm not like, I've accepted that for this season. And I get your point that, oh no, it's going to be the same back 5 or 6 next season. But I think the way in which we can approach games might be different, right? I think he's playing this way because it accommodates the best of what he has at his disposal, right? And I think it's no coincidence that Spurs have scored over 50 goals this season playing this way. It's no coincidence that we've won 14 Premier League games playing this way. I think the flip side is, you're right. We are giving up too many chances, but the way I look at the way we play is that we are set up to give teams chances, but we're giving teams chances on the condition that we're going to create more chances. We're going to try and swarm you. We're going to try and create an overload in the middle of the park, and if you get through, you get through, but you have to outscore us. And I think most games this season, we've outscored the opposition. I think we've got some record that we've scored in our last 37 consecutive Premier League matches, something like that. The second longest streak. So we're scoring goals, and we're scoring enough goals where we were able to still be in games. But I do think as the team evolves over time, Ange is going to need to learn how to try and tweak his system so that we can still impose our will on the game without being so open.
Too much. Because there's something here. I mean, this guy said
when Liverpool tried to win the league in 13-14, conceded 50 goals where they were blowing everyone away. You don't want that to be your level.
We can't.
There's a super chat here.
We can't win a league
from Snips 127, which says Tottenham are 14th in the league for XG conceded. That's a lot.
Yeah, we concede a lot.
That's a lot.
And I think the thing is,
numbers.
You made a good point, right? About like, oh, like this is pretty much your best defense and stuff, right? And we have had the injuries and stuff, right? But we've had Van de Ven back for a couple of weeks. We've had Romero back for like the last month or so. We've had Destiny and Porro fit for pretty much the whole season. So I think now it's clear that this is just the style that we're going to play. Unfortunately for us, we need specific players playing to a certain standard to impose our will so much so that we can blitz the opposition and then not limit the chances they get, but not make it as big as it's been in recent weeks. But in recent weeks, the performances haven't been sustained over 90 minutes. You're seeing more chances You're seeing more chances conceded, and you're not seeing us sort of like dominate games the way we were doing at the start of the season. So,
do you know what's particularly interesting about this year?
Yeah.
When I think about this as well, like, you know, football fans want their teams to play an exciting brand of football, and it's like, you know, if there's some high consequence, it doesn't matter because we're getting entertainment. Spurs are in this really unique position where this is probably the best football and best feeling you've had in a long time, right?
Absolutely.
But there's still a lot at stake. So like when that kind of like fades away a little bit, you're like, that's why you get to this place where you're like, well, yeah, this is great, but we do need to do something about this quickly. Like, you know, like a Brighton.
Because they better make top 4.
Yeah, because
you know that, Tobes.
I mean,
you better make top 4. What do you mean? Because I mean, you better make top 4. Because you know that. No, what are you
No.
Go on. What are you trying to tell me?
I'm going to tell you this. It will be disappointing if we don't make top 4, in my opinion. Yes, I'm saying I'm going to be disappointed if we don't make top 4.
It's a must.
But make it. It's not.
There's
a
no
must.
butthead.
Yes, it is a must.
It's not a must.
Why is it not a must?
It's not a must because not making top 4 is not terminal for what we are trying to do. It is not terminal.
What's the gain?
I'll ask this. With the top players that you want to bring in to play this expansive football you're playing, to develop this project and take you where you need to be, don't you need to be finishing top 4?
We do need to be finishing top 4. What I'm saying to you is if we weren't to finish the top 4 this season, it is not the end of the world. I'm telling you right now, Toby, I'm not going to put my son in here. I'm telling you, I want top 4. I've seen enough from this team this season that I think the expectation should be to finish 4th. If we don't finish 4th, it's a disappointing season.
So
but I don't think it tars the work that Ange Postecoglou's done this season, nor do I think it diminishes the progress that we're going to make.
But when you consider that Newcastle, we all thought they'll be stronger this season.
They fell off.
They fell off. United, come on, bro. We got +1 goal difference at the moment, right? Villa, come on. Spurs at this point, especially the way you guys started, I don't think you guys should be accepting not finishing in the top 4. You definitely should not be letting Manchester United leapfrog you. This has been a horror season. This has been a horror.
Can we
You shouldn't be letting that happen.
No, wait, can we say
Can
that a manager won 3 manager of the month consecutively?
Can we
to finish outside the Champions League places?
Bro, because that would be very. I wonder what your opinion was on Leicester's Brendan Rodgers. I remember me and my guys were saying it in our chat. Brendan Rodgers, Leicester. Don't do a Brendan Rodgers.
Can we pump the brakes?
I know Tobes. I bet you are one of the front runners dissing Leicester and Brendan Rodgers. I bet.
I wouldn't say I was dissing them.
Yeah, but you're doing exactly the same thing.
Can we pump the brakes on this, please? Because we're talking about hypotheticals. Man United have not leapfrogged Tottenham yet.
I said, don't let it happen.
No, you keep saying.
Do not let it happen.
How many games have United lost this season?
We've lost quite a lot. Yeah,
9.
So you keep saying don't let it happen. It hasn't happened yet, right?
Are you worried?
Yeah, I'm worried, but it's in the end of the day, as I said,
get nervous.
In the end of the day, we weren't just going to. You're not going to try it all you want. We weren't just going to coast off into the sunset. Oh my God, Spurs are playing all this great football. We're just going to waltz into 4th and have no competition. The Premier League don't work like that.
Yeah, okay.
We know that typically 3rd and 4th. It's always a battle between, I would say, 3, sometimes 4 teams in the final stretch of the season. So I was expecting competition. I was expecting Man United to at least come back with something. Yeah. The players were underperforming to such a low extent.
Don't lie.
He said he was
You
expecting.
thought we were dead and buried, bro.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
I watched your content, bro.
No, I didn't.
You thought we were dead and buried.
I didn't.
Listen, I watched the bully job these men do on site, and I always say, one day he's coming to the den. He's coming to the den.
I'm in the den now and I'm fighting.
They come to the den.
I'm in the den now and I'm fighting.
Talk about it because
I'm in the den now. I'm fighting.
You see
bro.
me, yeah? I'm like an all-seeing observer, bro.
Go on.
I see what man say.
I see what
and
you
I
do,
don't.
brother.
Sorry, Bruce Almighty.
I see what you do.
Bruce Almighty.
I see what you do.
I'm an all-seeing observer.
Man
yeah?
said I'm Sting.
And I watch what the man are doing. So you put us basically dead and buried. Because I remember there was one time Saeed said something, yeah. It triggered you, and you were like, "You know shit, you got this, you know that, bro." You buried our club, bro. You did not.
Why wouldn't I?
Because you were clear of us at the point.
Why wouldn't
now you're worried.
Yeah, I am
Why
worried.
are you
You're free
bro?
behind
You
us.
can't be worried.
Why
bro.
can't I be worried?
Why are you worried? If that means you lot are lacking, then, and that means you're not achieving your target.
No.
Because you thought we were gone. You thought you were gone.
So
you know you didn't think United were coming back. You know you didn't.
Are you gonna let me talk?
Go
Are
on.
you just gonna
Go on.
You said you were lacking. We have lacked. I've literally said we have lacked in recent weeks. Yes, we've only lost 1 match in the last 5 or 6, but the performances have not been to the level that we want. Right? But that doesn't mean that the season is done. We have more than enough at our disposal to finish above Man United, and I'm still confident that we will finish above you come match day 38.
I saw that you lot have got City, Liverpool, and Arsenal in a row.
That's fine.
In April.
That's fine. Okay, cool. When we went away to Man City, what was the score?
I don't even know.
3-3. When we went away to Arsenal, what was the score?
What was that, last season or this season?
No, this season. 2-2.
This season.
When we played you guys at home, what was the score?
So what, you confident you're going to beat them?
No,
yeah?
when we played you guys at home, what was the score?
You tell me.
2-0, we beat you. When we played Liverpool at home, what was the
So
score?
that means you're
2-1.
confident.
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of
But
the
you sound worried.
No.
You sound worried.
I'm not.
You sound worried.
Bro, it is a race. So I would be lying to myself if there wasn't any sort of possibility that, maybe Aston Villa might finish above us. Maybe Man United might catch us. But I am confident in this team's ability to see out the job. I'm confident, and I'm confident in the manager as well. He's getting a lot of pelters recently. I've seen some Spurs fans turning on Ange and stuff. I think we need to be realistic about what the expectation is for this manager. He's done a really good job. In 8 months, people want him to play the best football, win every game, control every single match, defend well as a unit, this, that, and the third. Like, it's not going to happen in such a short space of time.
But results are important because
and he's got results this season.
Conte
Has he
got
not?
sacked in 4th position, right? He
Wait.
was 4th when Conte got
Just
sacked.
hold that thought.
Bro,
'cause
we've
Conte
lost.
was sacked.
Hold that
at
thought.
4th.
There was a super chat here. This was by Schaefer Smith, which says same points after 25 games like Conte last season.
Okay, so can I debunk this?
They love
Because-
throwing them
you can.
ones
You
at
can.
us.
Can I
They love that one, innit?
They do it all the time. Same points as Oli and Dembele.
I hate this like wishy-washy like car wash football analysis. It's pathetic. Like you have to apply context. Last year, Spurs were widely criticised for winning games they didn't deserve to win because we had Harry Kane, because we had guys who could bail us out the mud. We were a team that were not set up well enough. We were a team that were not good enough to watch. We were a team that didn't really create enough opportunities in a game of football to score. Now we don't have that guy. We have way more injuries than we had last season, right? We have way more change than we had last season. We had a completely new back four, basically brand new midfield. Like, there's so many things we have to take into consideration on top of a new manager. Not a manager who's the second year into his job after spending 170 odd million. Like, come on, man. Come on.
I hear it.
That's fair.
Let me go a few more.
There's few other things that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, I know you are.
I told you, I'm the all-seeing observer, and we're going to get into that later
We've
on.
got
But
more.
I'll give you a break.
Essays, Toby, expectations change, Arsenal must, and then your surname. I'm not going to bear out your government. Luambo, I don't know how to pronounce your surname. Sorry, apologies. Says Tobes on the you must bust, don't go anywhere.
Hey, don't include me. That's Grizz. That's Grizz territory, not me, bro. I've said what I want.
We had one back to United from Anfield Old Way, which says Casemiro Casemiro was world class and had control at Madrid. Comes to United and becomes washed trash.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you have Modric and Kroos in front of you, and Marcelo on the side, and Sergio Ramos behind. All ballers. Not when you have Bruno and McTominay.
Yeah, let me see what else we've got. Alexa, dedicate Beanie Man's tune to Son.
I don't know what that means.
That's funny. Eli came again and said, don't let the mighty Man United finish above little Spurs. You guys need to make your minds up.
You know what? I want United fans to keep talking. I want you to keep
The thing
talking.
is, for me, it's not even listen, top four or not, it doesn't really make a difference. We're just grinding out results. That's not really the bigger picture. So I'm not really going to be bragging about it, but it's just interesting to see that you're worried. That you are worried.
Top
It's
four
just
race.
interesting.
And then
you know
this
what I mean?
one,
Race,
this
bro,
is
you're
like
worried.
this is a nice
Such a
segue. Abdi Raham Arab says King Kai
It's not gonna work, bro.
masterclass
It's not gonna work.
and Spurs being Spursy. So a lot of people have been in touch. A lot of Arsenal fans saying that you have to discuss Havertz. You have to discuss what's going on. And we spoke before, and we're like, you know what, Havertz is playing well, good, but like,
Is he?
because you're playing like
This is Havertz's biggest hater. I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
To be fair,
like,
Which game?
well, in general, they're just saying that the last game he was outstanding, and in general, like, you know, he's cooking, he's making a lovely meal, and it was like, when a team's performing well, does everyone have to get praise? That's what I want to ask.
No, it doesn't.
First and foremost.
It doesn't, and this is the point I was trying to make on the Big Six, and I don't want to like take over the show and state it, but like, I don't like the fact that when a team is doing amazingly well, a player who's not performing to the level, right? We can't talk about that player. Oh, the team's doing well, so it doesn't matter that this, that, and the third is playing poorly, etc., etc. Football shouldn't work like that, right? If you can be critical of a player who's playing poorly in a team that's not performing, you should also be able to be critical of a player that's not performing in a team that are winning, Do you get what I'm saying? And that's my whole thing with Kai Havertz, right? Like, people can say, oh, Tobes, you have an agenda, etc., etc. And great, like, I didn't watch the Burnley game, so I have to take their word on it. If they're saying he played well, cool. I'm not going to speak on that game, but I'm going to speak on what I've seen over the last couple of years in the Prem. And I've seen a player who's wildly inconsistent, who's quite poor in front of goal, and a player who doesn't make his mark on a football game for the most part, right? I was told I was hating by Chelsea fans, and yet in year 3, the same Chelsea fans were telling me, oh, get Havertz out of the club. Now we're seeing the same copium with certain Arsenal fans, right? And I feel like because a player has been bought for big money, right, they're doing so much to justify his contribution to the team, or to justify his team selection and stuff. And I don't think it's fair.
What I would say, I think in the last two games, since Trossard has gone 9, and played as the false 9.
Or dropped into 8 sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I do think in the last 2 games since Trossard has gone 9, Havertz has interchanged and stuff, and he's using his presence when Arsenal sometimes are going long. He's linking up a little bit better. I will say in the last 2 games, listen, they were both absolute hammerings, so it's going to look better than maybe it is. But I do think
he's involved
with Trossard there. They seem to have a decent little relationship in terms of when one's going to drop, when one's going to go forward and stuff like that. So Arsenal are using Havertz in a way that I thought they should have probably used him more anyway, because I think Havertz is a forward. I don't think Havertz is a midfielder. But now he's getting in so many positions where he's been able to use his forward presence instead of his midfield presence. The midfield thing, I don't really understand it too much. But I think with Trossard in the 9, they've got a decent little relationship going on. We'll see what happens when Jesus comes back. But
Listen,
I think in the last 2 games,
Trossard is cooking. I'll be real.
You know what I'd say
Trossard
about
he's cooking as of late.
What I'd say about Arsenal in general, is there was a lot of talk around that December moment of like how pivotal it was for them to sort of essentially falter a little bit, and how it affects the title race. And we had a conversation, I think it was when Turkish was on cam, and I was saying, can't this team grow into the season in terms of they've been very sort of rigid now, but can they find their legs and everything? And what I think they deserve credit for is that's five wins on the bounce. I think in 4 of the games they've scored 3 or more goals. That's back-to-back times they've scored more than 5 goals in both games. They've punished the opposition. They're making fans leave stadiums. You have to give credit where it's due. And I said it after the whole thing with the Liverpool thing. If they can just do this thing where they're in and amongst it, be in and amongst it,
they're well in there.
Let Liverpool and Man City headline WrestleMania. Can you be Cody Rhodes and come and be like, listen, I deserve to finish my story. That's all Arsenal need to do right now.
Were they ever out of it though? And
the thing is,
there was the point where it was looking
ominous.
bleak. That
in December, you can never drop points in December when you know the City machine is going to go on an 11-game win streak. You should never do that. But especially in the games that they dropped the points.
But there has to. But again, this is what I'm saying. There has to be some context applied to the games that they drop points in, right? Because if I'm looking at their performances are identical to the performances that they had in December. The only difference now is they got the front line who are tucking away chances. I look at the West Ham game. They obliterated West Ham at home, and West Ham scumbag 2 goals and won the game. I look at the Liverpool FA Cup game. They destroyed Liverpool, and they literally destroyed Liverpool in the first half of that game. Didn't put any of their chances away. Liverpool got a new lease of life in the second half and won that game. I look at games like, I remember I watched them against Wolves at home, against Brighton. They pumped the brakes. I mean, they pumped the living daylight out of Wolves and Brighton at home. So, like, I'm seeing a team who have actually been quite consistent in their ability to restrict the opposition and to pummel them in their box. The only thing that was missing was the chance conversion. So that's why. My point is, that's why, like, for me, I didn't really think they were out of the title race, because you're still able to control a lot of games. You just need to start putting your chances away.
But it's the perfect point to then look at what City do, because a lot of people at the moment are saying City are on this amazing streak, and then you look at the performances and you go, that's not what I usually expect. But another one ticked off, you keep moving on. I think with the Premier League, a lot of it is about momentum with your wins. And I think, especially in the December period, their momentum just went at the wrong time. And you start thinking, okay, cool. If City start running away with it, now you're going to have to play catch up. They've been fortunate that obviously Chelsea got the draw. The two games in hand things looking a bit different now. And they can still, hopefully, the question is now is, can Arsenal maintain this and go all the way now? Can you actually make sure that you don't fold to
I said last week that it looks like they're peaking at the right time.
Yeah, 100%.
And for me, listen, when they dropped them points back to back, was it how many? 3? They had 1 win in 5 games.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, listen, forget about it. You know what I mean? But in all fairness to them, this comeback, this bounce back that they've done has been very, very good, bro. You know what I mean? I keep saying I'm going to give champions respect. I'm still going to go with City.
I'm going with City, bro.
I'm still just going to go with
They're
City.
They're winning it.
Because Pep, I just can't bother to doubt Pep, right? But with what Arsenal are doing, this is what they need to do. Find form at the right moment. Yes, the Champions League hasn't kicked in yet. It's going to get tougher. But Saka, their best player, is turning up now. You know what I mean? They are... You can't break them, bro. With Rice, with Saliba, with Ben White, with Gabriel. Rayo's doing well now. Exactly. So they've got everything going at the right moment. All right, Martinelli's not scoring, but maybe he'll start scoring when they need to. Everyone else is doing their thing at the moment. Trossard is scoring goals. So
that's what I was going to say. The role players are stepping up now. Even Kai Havertz, who I don't like. Even he scored the other day and stuff like that. So
but they're peaking at the right time. Yeah. But the only thing is, we just said City just come off. Was it 11 wins or something? And I don't know. It all come.
Are we going to talk
Liverpool? We're going to talk on them.
We've
got Liverpool. We got Liverpool doing what they're doing. So we have seen. The problem is we have seen teams. We have seen Liverpool win 14 in a row. We've seen City go and win 18 in a row. So it doesn't guarantee if Arsenal peak at the right time, it means a title is coming. But that's all they can do. They are doing what they need to be able to do. So listen, there's going to be some big games coming up. I think Arsenal are going to win every game until the Etihad game. And then who knows what happens from there. But I think Arsenal are going to win.
Sorry?
That game's in 31st of March. I think they're going to win the rest of their Prem games.
On a slide, Spurs can decide where the title goes.
Yeah,
so
I saw someone tweeting about us being kingmakers.
Yeah.
We got Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City
back to
in
back.
The space of I think Newcastle somewhere there as well. So we got a very tough run of
Spurs got the choice.
Obviously, we spoke about it last week. But Odegaard as well. Odegaard, the form. Listen, it was so funny because
leaders lead.
I was saying, like, when they was talking about, everyone was highlighting that Declan Rice slows down the team and blah blah blah. He doesn't find this vertical pass and all this type of stuff. But I was like, the striker's not firing, the winger's not firing, the midfielder's not firing. Like, there's so much to it that you can't just pinpoint it to the number 6 is the reason why we're not scoring goals. But that same number 6 that's come in has made you the most solid team in the Premier League. So you credit him with that, but you're saying he's the one that's taking away their goal scoring opportunities. But lo and behold, Odegaard snaps out of it, wakes up, starts coming a little bit deeper, winning the ball, playing from a little bit deeper, and everything is going well. Saka, he's got his shooting boots on again. Trossard, he's burying goals. Now all of a sudden Arsenal are flying. So I was just like, all it really needed is their attack to click in, because we kept saying this season, it's not the same Arsenal fluidity-wise. It's not the same Arsenal, but this year they're a lot more solid. And now they found a way to mix the both, and that's what you get as a top team.
Do you know what I say to that, yeah? When we always talk about City, we always talk about we don't know what lineup City are going to play. City have depth. City can bring KDB off the bench. The one thing we've constantly said about Arsenal is a lot of these players are playing. Bukayo Saka's hamstrings are going to fall off. I remember when we were having this conversation, I said that I didn't like the way Arteta tried to throw Odegaard under the bus with the whole Havertz thing, because that was a player that looked injured, and then it was now I need to make sure that I protect his Havertz signing, and Havertz was getting the shine thing. These guys went to Dubai, they came back, they look fresh, they're cooking. It's simple as that. These men were tired, bro. We always say, if you're going head to head with City, that takes a lot out of you. Then you go back into a new season again and try and perform at the same level, it's not easy. Now this team looks like they've got a good motion about them, there's a good groove, the players look healthy. Now it's about, can you actually keep going? But Arsenal look good at the moment. To score that amount of goals, to let it ring, to keep the clean sheets, what more can you ask
That's
for?
The most important thing, man, for me. The clean sheet, the keeper, they're still staying solid.
They've done well to beef up the goals, because now if you look at their goal difference, it's right.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Comes to the end.
Man City. So like, if you are really in a title race, every marginal game counts.
100%.
What was in that? What's that Donny's name?
Salt Bay.
Nusrat.
We're saying what PEDs in
what was
the
in
salt?
that meat? You remember that?
Wait.
What was in that meat that he fed Arteta, boy? Because Arteta just came with new plans or something. I don't know,
man.
But another thing that we need to talk about.
Why are you pointing at me?
Who
does this guy think he is?
Bro,
Who do you think? I'm not your age mate. I'm not your age mate.
Who do you think you are?
Another thing we need to talk about, because listen, I don't like it.
Let me quickly do super chats.
Yeah.
Cheek,
cool,
but before I go super chats, let's run up the likes.
Yes.
Let's run up the comments as well. You already know what to do. Algorithm. But let me do some quick super chats. Ibi says, as a Gooner, This is a Liverpool and City title race. Don't look at us. Don't mind us. We just want a VIP ticket to watch the race. One game at a time. I said it. You're Cody Rhodes.
Relax. Let's relax there. Arsenal finished second and should have won the league last year.
Yeah, but
let's stop acting like Arsenal are the little brothers.
Arsenal can afford to be Cody Rhodes right now. Now, everyone is looking at The Rock, Roman Reigns doing this whole thing. Arsenal can just be there.
We're looking at Arsenal as well, brother. They're not hiding from shit, bro. They're not hiding from shit. We're looking at Arsenal as well, brother.
I've got another one
one
here
of the strongest teams in Europe.
I've got one. Well, people are tipping for the Champions League, to be fair.
There we go.
You know what? I hear it. One here from Makani which says, where does Odegaard rank amongst midfielders in the Premier League?
He's right up there.
As in all-round midfielders. You got to have KDB, Rodri.
Maddison.
Do you think he's better than Odegaard?
Yes, I do.
Do you think, yeah?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's by a lot, but I think he is better than Odegaard.
Is it?
Yeah. I've always felt this.
I think
I've always felt this.
I think Odegaard's a little bit better. I just think Odegaard can help control the game a little bit better.
So can Maddison.
I think Maddison, he can get you like the GA and that.
Nah,
and he's
brother,
wait,
he
I'm not
controls.
putting him like a Bruno. Relax.
No.
Fantastic footballer.
So speak
He's a
percent when you speak of my boy, innit?
But I think Odegaard is better in more phases than Maddison is.
I don't agree, but
That's what I think.
fair.
We can agree to
I don't
disagree.
know what I mean.
What was the point you
We'll
wanted to make,
agree
young sir?
disagree.
Talking about midfielders, Arsenal midfielders, this criminal, I want to just see if you're still standing on the same comments about Bissouma being better than Declan Rice.
Oh, I gave that up. Yeah,
You gave
Rice.
that up?
Yeah, Rice is better than Bissouma.
Yeah, good. By a long distance.
You can call it
By a
whatever.
long
You can
distance.
call it whatever distance
By a long
you want.
distance.
Because if
What were you drinking or smoking when you said that comment?
The same thing you were drinking when you were sat outside the Emirates, talking to Turkish about 10 hard, 10-10. Errors come to an end. Yeah.
A ball hadn't even been kicked. A ball hadn't even been kicked.
The same thing.
You had watched
the
Declan
same
Rice and
thing you were
Bissouma and
drinking.
you said that.
Don't you dare
What
come
are you
in here.
talking about,
No.
bro?
And do you
I
know
need
what's
that
mad?
answer.
Do you know what's mad? Because I know he wants to talk about Harry Kane. I know he's definitely talking about Harry Kane.
I'm not going to agree with you about Kane. Don't worry.
No. Because I want if you want to pull people up on what they said. Remember when you called Kane finished? Remember when you said Son
Now
better than
look,
Kane?
he still ain't won a trophy.
You.
He still ain't won a trophy.
You. Listen, your misdemeanors, we'd be here all day. Yeah.
Listen.
Your misdemeanors, we'd be here all day.
Man said your rap
you
sheet's
know-
extensive.
Bruv, I could put a Rico on you. Like, I could do you like YSL.
I could
do you like
a
YSL.
serious kick, but me, I just write the notes in my mentally keep the notes now. Move on. But if you've already conceded that Declan Rice one, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Alright,
I can
cool.
ride out. for
Rice
that
is
one.
threatening.
Speaking of title things, because there's still a lot that we need to get into. Let's quickly touch on the City game because we've mentioned them here as well. Their Big Six record this season, they've won one game against a really poor United side. I think it was a 2-0, 3-0 win.
Yeah, we had
that was an
duds out there.
abysmal squad. 1-1. Some would say they're fortunate. They missed a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Some would say that they didn't look like the City that they usually look like. Let's go City perspective quickly first. This doesn't really mean anything, innit? We're used to City randomly having these moments and bouncing back. You've got Champions League and whatnot. But is it a bit weird that this Big Six record is not looking stellar?
It wasn't stellar last season though.
True.
It wasn't stellar last season. They won the league.
True.
But last season, they had, how can I explain it? I feel like this season, there's more at stake that they have to win them big games because they got to go Anfield now.
Yeah.
And Arsenal coming to the Etihad, which hasn't been a great ground for them. But, I mean, Chelsea looked decent over there.
No,
but, Arsenal might be able to get a result there. You never know. At crunch time, I still fancy City in that moment. But the fact that they have to go to Anfield and Arsenal when they are both there, Arsenal come to them right at crunch time, it's worrying because I'm like, why are they not beating these teams?
What I'd also say as well is, at the moment, is it fair to say that we're potentially having, like the conversation we just had now, we've got a legit 3-horse race here.
Unfortunately,
one of the best title runnings that we could probably had in a long, long time. So
Unfortunately,
therefore, that means that the bigger games are of so much more importance because it's a mini league. If we know that we're dealing with the rest of the league, if I can take points off you, that's what's going to make the difference. The only
thing I would say is obviously top 6 at the end of the day is a
fugazi thing because
it's
Chelsea
a
are
thing.
10th.
Chelsea are all the way down there. Man United are not involved either.
No, but you're top 6 right now.
Yeah, to be fair.
Exactly.
To be fair, but did they beat Villa and Man City?
No, they lost to Villa.
It was a
really
this
bad
is what I'm saying.
Jeez.
But listen, so
okay, now that's concerning for sure.
But if you look at their performances, right? They should have beat Liverpool. Let's be real. They should have beat Liverpool. They created enough chances to beat Liverpool in that game. They didn't take enough of their chances. Liverpool capitalized, got the draw. Even against us, I was really proud of our second half performance, but they should have had the game dead and buried against us. They marginally lost to Arsenal away from home.
Both our games, they shouldn't have beat us.
Courtesy of a deflection. Okay, your game, fair enough.
The 4-4 and this one.
But the point I'm making is like, it's not like, one, they're not losing a lot of these games. They've only lost one game.
Yeah.
And two, for the most part, you can say, you know what?
They dominated.
They dominated most of this game.
But
they should have won this game.
expect City to dominate, though. If City don't dominate, I'll be shocked. I can't remember the last time where City didn't dominate. It's the fact that they're not getting...
It's more the finishing, though. Like, Haaland, the thing is, it's mad. Haaland has scored... Like
he's having
he's
his
a
worst finish this
he's a
season.
world class striker.
Yeah.
He's scored a lot of goals this season, but he's missed a lot of chances this season.
22 big chances
in some of
missed.
these matches. Against Liverpool, he missed a big chances.
Yeah.
Against us, he missed big chances as well. Against even you, like
Chelsea,
yesterday,
he
even
missed.
with all the chances you had, he missed big chances. So like, I don't expect Erling Haaland to be like this all season. I know I'm saying this; it's in February, but
Yeah.
like, if I see Arsenal come to the Etihad, I have no reason based off of Man City's top 6 record this season to say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I don't think they're going to win this game. I think I will have full belief they're going to beat Arsenal. And I think they can go to Anfield and not lose.
No, Harry.
I think Anfield is gonna. I think
That's-
Anfield
that's
is
gonna be a
gonna be.
strict-
I
that's gonna
think
be
yeah,
interesting,
Anfield is gonna be very tough. My thing is like, I don't know. Am I the only one though? Like, listen, like obviously it's City dominate by keeping the ball, right, and obviously press and stuff like that. But when you get at Man City's defenders, like, I don't think that defense is good, bro. Like, Ake, Akanji, Walker, and Diaz, that's not that good. Like, let's keep it 100, bro.
Nah.
We have the Pep lens on. That is not that good.
What I would say
Is that good, bro? Are you man
You go first, I'll
Like,
go
Rodri's
after.
great. KDB's great. Foden, Haaland. But that defense, I'm like,
What I'd
that's
say
a
is-
real Pep lenser we're using there, man.
With Manchester City, right? You said it earlier, champions respect. Because of the type of team they are, right? Most teams they play in this league, they've won the game based on just authority of like, we are Manchester City. Then furthermore, a lot of teams don't play the way they should play. Chelsea yesterday, prime example, we executed the game plan to the T. And what did we do with 20 minutes to go? We went away from the plan and then we conceded a goal. Because it's that Man City thing, you feel like you can't do it. Like any team that's physical with Manchester City or really tries to go for it, usually has a decent amount of chance. The Kyle Walker goal, the thing that we're seeing this season, if you go out Kyle Walker, there's a good chance that if you cut in, you may have his number.
It's always been that case. You know as a Spurs fan.
No, it hasn't always been that
You
case.
cut in on Walker, he's like,
It hasn't.
the guy runs at you at 100 miles an hour, then you cut in and he's like, phew, pass
It hasn't been
bro.
that case. He's been the best right back in the league for the most part.
I'm
in
saying
the
more.
last
I'm
couple
saying
of
more
years.
recent
No,
time.
I know
I'm having a bit of respect.
Yeah,
I'm saying
Fred,
more recent.
obviously
time.
a couple of years, but I'm saying like, come on, we're
I'm
talking
saying more
heritage
recent
here.
time. But like with the profiles you're saying, more time. If you have, how does City defend? They defend by keeping the ball. They're not defending by one-on-one combat defending. There's sometimes where Ake might do an interception or
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, Ake's
Great.
good 1v1,
But
great.
they're not having to do 1v1 combat.
Yeah,
It's just that
yeah.
if we have the ball, come and get it.
Yeah,
So
that's what I mean. They defend by keeping the
Yeah.
ball. That's literally, I think Xavi said that about.
Yes,
tiki-taka.
it's the whole netball
It's-
principle.
They
So-
defend by keeping the ball.
But they
I'm
have,
just like,
but they do have good. They do have good defenders though.
yeah, I think John Stones. That is,
No,
he's
Diaz.
top.
Diaz is their best centre back.
Diaz is okay, man. You gas up Diaz.
Diaz
He's
is their
good.
best centre back.
Diaz is good. He's
no,
good.
No. Diaz is their best centre back.
But what? He's not as
He's
good.
their best. Yes, he is.
One day people will see what
But
I
he's
see
their
with
best
this,
centre
bro.
back.
But speaking
One
of-
day
I
people-
don't think I don't know.
People will
you
see
know,
what I see with
you
this
know,
one,
you,
bro.
do you know why?
Eventually.
Do you know,
One
do,
day.
do you know why you're one of the worst things to happen to Twitter? Do you know why?
Oh
Because
my
do you know why you're one of the worst things to happen
What
to
the
Twitter?
hell?
Because do you know what? Let me explain. Because you
What have I done?
Let me tell you why. Because you know ball and because you've amassed a following.
Oh.
You can literally paint a narrative, and you got all your minions saying, "Yeah, Cams. Oh yeah, Cams."
Hey, we say
Remember
what-
the one
we
game
need-
at a time. One game at a
Hey,
time. You got all your
we
minions.
say what we need community notes for.
Fam,
We need community notes for culture comes.
Nah,
We
bro.
need community notes,
I just
bro.
speak what the people be
Nah,
thinking. That's
bro.
why I'm the
We
cult
don't
hero,
think,
mate.
We don't think Diaz. We don't think Diaz is just good. Diaz is a quality centre
You are
back.
narcissist.
He's good.
He's a
He's good.
quality centre back. The same way Kyle Walker is a quality defender, but
No,
he
Kyle
is.
Walker
He is.
a good defender.
No, Kyle Walker is a quality defender.
He's good,
He's just
man.
he's just had a couple shaky
I think
games
you
this
lot are
season.
boosted. I think the Pep lens. It's the Pep lens, man.
It's not the Pep lens because I
Pep
don't
lens.
particularly rate Akanji high. I think I think he's done well for Man City, but I think he's a decent when it comes to defending.
Competent. He's competent in defense.
He's
very
competent technically, and he's a decent defender. But I don't think, like you said, he's like a top level defender.
But with this game though, like I'll tell you what frustrates me, and like speaking from a Chelsea
there's another team that played in it.
Yeah, real talk. Speaking from a Chelsea perspective, I think this game epitomised Chelsea's season where you can't blame anything on one thing. Some people say Poch coached the 2-0, but at the same time, it was his tactical change that probably cost us at the end. In the same instance, though, if you have a top quality striker, Nico Jackson scores his goal, you're 2-0 till up, you run away with it. In the same vein, Sterling scores that goal, but I've seen him miss that chance many times this season, and that's why it's so difficult. But I was happy with the performance. We performed like a team that actually wanted to perform, and not that the season's over. It gives me a good feeling going towards the Carabao Cup. But I also feel like now what happens is Chelsea fans will come out and be like, Disasi and Kogel. I feel like we have so many profiles to choose from and so many things to put together that when you get injuries, Chelsea can go from head to head so quickly based on so many different factors. And all I want is stability.
Yeah.
All I want is stability, and I don't feel like we're going to get that anytime soon. But that was a good performance.
Who are the must starters for Chelsea? If
Next season,
the season ended right now,
yeah,
you get a transfer budget to sign players.
Yeah.
Who are the players that obviously are already at the club that must start next season?
Gusto has to start next season
With a healthy Reece James. With a healthy Reece James.
I haven't seen a healthy Reece James.
Boy,
even when he's
Chelsea,
being back,
that's a big.
Chelsea fans are going to be on your ass, boy.
I've said
they're going to be on your ass.
I said we haven't seen a healthy Reece James for such a long time. Like if you want Reece James to be, don't get me wrong, when he's injured, he's still quality and whatnot. But we've seen it; the explosive power is not there. What Reece James does at his best, he needs to be athletically peak. I haven't seen that, so let him get fit right now. Gusto gives you what you need to do.
All right,
so Gusto's there.
I agree. He's quality.
Gusto's there. Petrovic for me is the number one goalkeeper now. Sanchez, it was great, but Petrovic, you're number one goalkeeper.
Is he the real deal?
I think he's a good shot stopper. I can't say real deal. Like it's
on the ball, he's a bit, but shot stopping, I think he's
stopping is
good.
Great. Like you said, on the ball, he's not too.
It's
not that he's amazing, but I don't feel like we need it.
He's like Cudicini days, man. So if you were there,
early check. You know that was
that check was too elite.
I think he's good for what.
No, but when we got check from Ron, everyone was like, and then we was like, oh my gosh, wow.
Within one game, you knew what time it was.
Petrovic is, I think he's more than good enough for what you need right now.
Yeah, 100%. With Sanchez, there's still a bit question marks.
Right.
Back
so you got
Gusto, Petrovic. For me personally.
Look how he's having to caveat.
Personally,
he's having to really defend himself.
Disasi.
Starter.
The reason why I say it is
how old is
because
Disasi? 27?
25, like 25, 26. In terms of Thiago Silva's not playing next year, you still need someone that is somewhat more experienced, leadership, physical prowess, does stuff. People will be like yes or no or whatever. But if you've got someone that can recover around him as competent, you can see. Yesterday was what happens when you have a good partnership.
Yeah.
Cole was a bit more composed. The Sassy can be a bit more in your face. It works. They both wanted to defend their socks off. I still feel like he's given a hard time because he doesn't play that smooth way that people want their centre halves to play. That guy gives everything.
Yeah, I mean, Doku was paid. Listen, Doku fed Disasi's whole family yesterday because every single cross you knew was coming to the near post. Thank you very much. Doku. We're going to speak about that later as well because I know your views on a certain man too. But
so
anyway.
we've got that.
This guy. I think the Sassy gets. I don't particularly rate him like high, but I do think the criticism he has had this season has been over the top because when I've watched Chelsea play, yeah, sure, he's been clumsy, he's made some mistakes, but like I've seen Badie Ashil put in some horrific performances, but because of the credit he's got in the bank from last season, it doesn't like it. The Chelsea fans I'm speaking to, it won't really get spoken about by the masses, right?
And it makes a difference when you come in and out of the squad for injuries and whatnot. Your bad performance kind of gets forgotten about because you're not playing the next week. Whereas like Disasi's kind of been in amongst it. He's played right back. He's played centre back. He's kind of been.
But he's been part of the mess though.
Yeah, no, 100%. But like a man like that should be playing right back. Would you play Rudiger right back?
It's like thing, yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned Man City and obviously Doku. Like the end product wasn't great yesterday, but I remember watching because I watched your game against Aston Villa. Aston Villa away in the FA Cup game, and Disasi was like he was actually. I was like, wow, like this is the best Disasi performance I've seen in a Chelsea shirt. Like he was top.
When he performs well, he's one of those, when you say defenders, colossal, like he's just winning everything. And I feel like you need that as one of your centre halves. So I'll put him there.
Okay, Disasi and Gusto Petrovic.
Petrovic.
He's left.
Enzo, no, because you're saying people that I feel like 100. Enzo still has to start for me. I feel like there's definitely a player in Enzo.
Yeah.
It's just about being utilised properly. So
agree.
Enzo,
He
you
has
got to
to
put there.
start.
Yeah.
I know you don't like that one, but Enzo has to be
do you
there.
care what he doesn't like?
No,
hold on, wait.
Why do you care what he don't like?
I'm pointing out there because look at his face.
Not
Look
one
at his face.
person will find me say Enzo is not good. I've never said that. I have never said he's not good.
Guy, he just.
But I've never said that.
He does this. He likes the
I've
politics.
never said he's not good. I
he
just,
likes the
you know
politics.
what? Everyone knows what I said, but I've never said he's not good. So yeah, okay.
So
Enzo.
there, next season a fit Nkunku for me, 100%.
Where does he? Where does? I want to understand this. Where does he play in your team? Because I think you waste Nkunku when you put him as like a false nine, but I don't think he's explosive enough to play out on the wing. So where does he play for you? Because he has to be in the team.
For me personally, people always ask what is Poch's style of play, especially Chelsea and everything. It's the one move that we did against you guys constantly when we scored the hat trick. It's the one move that we did
against the 9 men.
No, but we done the same thing. We did the same thing to City twice. We scored one. We did it a few times actually. It's this whole how can your forward three move, utilize, and get deliveries into the box. I believe Nkunku is a good finisher, and I feel like in those positions he can do well. I think.
But where's he starting?
I think he has to start as your false nine. I think that's his start position.
Really? So you won't sign a 9?
No, as in like the nine, as in like whether it's false, whether it's 9, he starts as your striker.
So he'll start as your striker, but then don't you want a striker this summer?
But again, this striker talk. Who's the striker that's going to come in?
Fair enough.
If I can't pinpoint a striker to come in, I can't say that I
You
want
got
the striker
money.
to come
You
in.
paid 115 for Caicedo. I feel like you can go out there and get a up and coming.
I couldn't tell you who I
So
definitely want.
Nkunku start. You want
Nkunku
Nkunku starting, Enzo,
I throw
Disasi,
Caicedo in there as well. I feel
Disasi,
Caicedo.
Caicedo. See, this is what I was trying to say though. This is the majority of your team that you've got out here now.
Yeah.
So what do Chelsea need to improve on? How are you in the position that you're in?
The coach.
This is the,
Got him.
coach
This is what I was trying to say.
It's what I've said. It's
Got him.
the individual performances, as we've said plenty of times this season. A lot of these players are like, listen, we know you can do better than that. And it's how they're put together to perform. Like I can't see you say, someone was talking to me before the game and I said, well, I can't remember the last time we actually won the midfield battle against another team this season because we typically...
Really? I think you guys win midfield battles.
We've done well, but how many times have we
think
said
you win a
that
fair few.
this partnership has been overrun by Amrabat? This partnership's been this that. That's happened too many times for me this season.
I think your
For me.
your midfield. What I don't get is with your midfield. I've
the
watched
profiles.
I've watched enough games of you this season where I can actually say like there's been many a time where your midfield is in control of matches, popping it, progressing it up the pitch, and I feel like for whatever reason you can't sustain it over 90 minutes. And I think for me, when I watch Chelsea, I think the biggest hindrance in your team outside of the setup that Pochettino has, putting players in wrong positions, I think your front line, your attack, I think it needs major surgery personally, and I think there are specific profiles in your defense that just need to be put in the right position or should just not play at all. I'm looking at
that goes to the
Chilwell
whole
at left
like,
back.
why is Maatson out on loan when you needed a left back? Why are you playing centre half or right back? Which Poch said some really interesting. He said that Colwell plays left back because he needs height in the team. I'm not too sure about that. But even like if you ask most Chelsea fans, they'll tell you when we're playing with our midfield, why is it that the midfield partnership are like 15 yards apart and then Enzo's been told go and play in a 10 and whatnot? It's like, why are we not playing in a way that there's just control and then you can progress the ball forward? Because when we do that, we look really good. And this is where it then comes back to, you're talking about the front line. There's a part of the season where the front line were all chipping in with goals and it was looking all gravy. And it's like, again, Chelsea's season can't be boiled down to one individual thing. That's why I said the players got to take accountability. The manager's got to take accountability of the setup. And next season, we need to just find the balance of what is right and just home into it because it keeps changing.
I think there's one more piece missing there in the midfield, personally. I feel like even though Enzo,
Enzo's not a 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel
And
like,
then we don't have a 6.
Well, Caicedo's basically your 6. Right?
But he's not being deployed as a 6. It's like, okay, what is...
But he is though.
Isn't
Isn't he deployed as a lone 6? That's the problem. He's being left on a... Like, that's what I hear from your fans. He's being left by himself. You got Enzo who's playing close to the striker. You got Gallagher who's doing the Roman thing.
Yeah.
So I think a better midfield structure by the manager definitely takes you up another level. But I also think even once that's done, I think there needs to be something done about a player that can play in Gallagher's position, that can give you, maybe he's not going to give you like everything Gallagher gives you off the ball, but he can give you enough.
The quality.
And the quality on the ball shows through.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
Connor's been doing well though.
the thing is, with Gallagher, I always say, especially when we talk here, is that you have to appreciate the story of where you are in the season. And whether people like Gallagher as a player or not, as a person or not, rate him as a quality and whatnot, when Chelsea were in the dumps and he needed someone to raise the head above the parapet and actually show up and show something, he did that. And because of that, that gives you time in the team. And even now, his performance against Rodri, he's perfect for that. Be your dog, sniff possession, move the ball forward. Yes, sometimes his final pass is not going to be there, etc. But with the role he does with the team in terms of that Roman role, it works. But again, this is where the management comes in. If you're going to have someone that's a Roma, how do you counter for that with quality and actually control? Like, what do we want to do? With Lavia, if Lavia is starting to start now, who comes up the team or whatnot? There's all of these things that people have question marks about. And it's like, what do you actually want to do there? And when we find that out, I'll be able to be like,
I think that's what I'm saying, but it's going to take time with the players. I think that's why I'm just saying. Listen, I'm not even a major Poch fan. Like, it's funny that people turn around and think I'm a Poch fan now because I said it. I'm not even a Poch fan, but I just think you've got to keep him as well. He's the one that's seeing it through with these guys, learning their mentality. All these guys have come from different countries, different places, inexperienced. He's the one seeing it through with these guys right now in their teething stage. I don't think you just sack him, bring someone else in, and it all changes. I just think you should keep him, see what happens next season, have a preseason, whatever, and go again. That's how I see it. Now, there is deficiencies in Poch, obviously. For example, you guys were doing great yesterday. I don't know why he went to that back three so early, took off Jackson, took away Sterling. Shouldn't have done that. For me, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you give the game to City, they're going to score eventually. Like, Rodri always does this. Haaland should have scored 2 in that moment as well. So that was where you can look at Poch and be like, okay, cool. You still got a lot of things to not learn. How can I tell Poch has to learn? But you've got things that you can improve on. But I still think this whole like sack him. I think it just requires a bit of patience, bro.
Again, you have to remember, football fans are fanatics. At the end of the day, we're going to a Carabao Cup final, which I said that I don't think we're winning against Liverpool team with loads of injuries. If we win that now, is anyone going to be saying sack him, or is it going to be euphoria like, oh, we won trophy, it's good?
Are you confident? What do you think about that final?
I'm more confident I was than 2 weeks ago.
Is it because of the injuries for Liverpool? Or?
The injuries for Liverpool are massive, and I think ultimately against the display against City shows that this team knows that they can do what they need to do. But can you see that out over the whole match now is the thing. That is the thing. I feel like if we take chances, we score goals. That big if is a killer. Like, we're seeing that at the moment. We'll get into Liverpool. The Nunes finish. What the fuck? Like, this is a team that Nunes is scoring. Salah's looking ominous. Jota can chip in with goals.
He's injured now.
Well, they can score goals. With us, I don't necessarily have that confidence, and ultimately goals are the currency in football.
There's no inevitability with Chelsea.
No, not at all. Not at all. And especially once Chelsea, you've seen Chelsea games, once you've missed those 3 or 4 chances, teams kind of know that, okay, you know what?
And then they go and score. Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem.
So, again, maybe that's why you need that centre forward, but...
Palmer was class as well in the game. I think he's
Palmer is a baller.
He's a baller, bro. He is.
I remember this guy laughed at me because I said Palmer's our hope, and he said you're putting all your hope on a Cole Palmer. I said, bro, footballers are footballers at the end of the day.
He's a baller, bro.
And you can see it. Like, that's no slight to what you said, but same thing with Kobe Mainoo when you say that Kobe Mainoo is what I expect a professional footballer to look like. Cole Palmer is what I expect a Chelsea player to look like.
Yeah, but the thing is, why I was saying it is because you spent that much money, and then your hope is the 40 million deadline day signing. That's crazy. It should never be the case.
It shows that money's not everything.
There we go, exactly. But Cole Palmer...
Different gravy.
I would not want to be Gareth Southgate this summer, bro. I'm telling you now, he's in hell with his decisions.
Few super chats here. This is from FC Solo. People slandering this defense, but last year we had the best defense in Europe. Only thing that's changed is tactics. Pep has them so forward. Interesting take. This is from London Nomad, which went back to the conversation before. Odegaard is clear of Maddison. It's not just the assist. The man literally runs games and leads the team. Niu says, I don't know what Tobes is on. City did not dominate at the Emirates low. They had one shot on target.
I didn't say they dominated at the
Pep
Emirates.
had in game in years.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Lamin C says, Doku equals Jollof Rice Dan James. Puff Puff Super Malt hype.
Harsh.
Doku. What do you mean by that?
Harsh.
What do you mean?
How are you, man?
MCFC Solo also says Pep's obsession with Alvarez in the midfield doesn't make sense. He's a good player, but after Foden's form, why? Bad game in, but if Haaland finishes chances, we win. I did think that as well, and obviously Foden's been
and Akanji doing the Stones role. I'm just like, bro.
He's doing too much.
There's one here as well. There's some AG Brown which says, Mays, you need to cook Hugh for all of the chest he had. Listen, man. He said that he was sick of Chelsea. He wants to pound them. I hope that man feels better now. That's all I can say. Matisse, over to you. Big up the big six. You do what you need to do. I said my piece. I warned him. They didn't do the pounding. We move on. But Liverpool. We have to discuss Liverpool.
All amongst this, Liverpool are the ones that are sitting.
Liverpool are still top of the table.
Top.
Liverpool are still top of the table. Liverpool had the 12:30 kickoff against Brentford, a team they don't really like playing, and they showed up.
Bruh.
Mo Salah, I can't lie. I have my grievances.
What's the grievance?
I have my grievances because the Egypt thing, and he said he will come back for the final. Now he's looking like he's taking some Kenzu beans. He's doing facilitation. I don't know what to feel about that, but again, similar to Arsenal, this is what you call doing what you need to do.
Mo Salah is what it looks like, bro. That's what I know. Obviously, we can talk about.
No,
that's
I agree.
Genuinely like
elite,
like bona fide world class player. Like he comes on the pitch and you see the levels just raised. The passing, the finishing.
Like the assist was
just
it was just different. Of course, for them, the injuries they picked up in that game, concerning. Bittersweet game for them. Obviously, with Carabao coming up and the season as well, especially that Curtis Jones has been someone that's been like good facilitation for them. Like that's not going to go down well. It means that Gravenberch and those guys are going to have to stand up to the parapet and stuff. It's a lot, but
they need a big final performance from Salah. I don't think he's really had one for Liverpool yet. He's been in the finals.
You're right.
He hasn't really had
semis, but he's never had.
He's not had that final. And when
that
you're
moment where it's like,
obviously he scored a penalty against Spurs in the final. That's a penalty. I think this is a good moment in Klopp's last season, and that it'll be a good moment for Salah to deliver this one. Do you know what I mean? Because you're saying Jota, who I put respect on him last year. I'm one of Jota's biggest critiques. But then I praised how at least in Salah's absence, you can't be like, oh, he's benefiting off the system, he's benefiting off better players. He delivered. Simple as that. So I gave him, but he's not there now. Nunes is there, obviously Diaz is still there and stuff. But these are the moments where you're gonna look at Salah in the moment where they have injuries. Szoboszlai, they're like Trent, you show why you're one of the elite. I think there's only a few elite footballers in football at the moment. Only a few, and Salah's in there. He's one of them. Show that. You know what I mean? I think that's like what you can go and do. And I think people are still surprised. One thing I don't like, I think people are still surprised that Liverpool are doing this because, they went against Arsenal. Both times against Arsenal, maybe Arsenal looked the better team, whatever. You know what I mean? But people are kind of surprised that why are Liverpool still doing how it's going to fall off eventually. It's not going to. No. Liverpool are going to continue winning and they're going to take it to the very end, in my opinion. They're
We've
top
said it.
side at the moment.
I'm getting used to it now.
Yeah, Liverpool
was it surprising you, innit? In the beginning, of course,
in the beginning, it surprised me. Now, like this weekend, I didn't look past them to win.
You just remember that it's muscle memory. They've been here before. They know what it takes. Like, it's not new to them, which is different from the Arsenal experience, where it's like, is it going to feel a bit different? For them, they know what they need to do. Salah knows what he needs to do. For them, the Carabao Cup, as Josie always says, it's that thing that gives you that little spark to keep going. So Klopp's obviously going to want to try and win that. If they were to lose that, I don't think it would affect them too much.
I don't think it derails them at all.
It wouldn't affect them too much, but it's kind of like a, that hurt. Let's go make sure we win the league. Yeah. So it's kind of like all right for them. But you're right.
The injury to Alisson as well, though. Like, I keep saying
they've had big injuries.
The reason why I kept saying that I think Liverpool will stay in this race is because they have 4 world-class, in my opinion, 3 of them are like elite at the moment in Trent, Van Dijk, Alisson and Salah. And for Trent and Alisson to be out and it's Salah just coming back, it's a big harm to their team. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, but Conor Bradley's nice.
Yeah, he's good, nice. And I'm glad that he's back playing football as well. Obviously, after everything that happened, I think like Liverpool just have that knack of just continuing. Like they'll always find a way to plug and play and whatnot.
4 goals, man.
They're the definition of getting shit done.
Yeah,
like
100%.
At this point, like they're just getting stuff done.
And this is why I say, like, even though Arsenal are the ones that right now that are in the news because their performances are crazy,
Liverpool's
they're winning.
top of the table.
Liverpool just know how to keep going.
It's mad.
They just these teams. It must be
but
draining.
It's mad.
bro.
I still think Man City and Arsenal are better. They're better than Liverpool for me. But like Liverpool are top of the league. You have to respect that. And I'm actually interested to see like how it's gonna pan out.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's a bit peak for them because the injuries have sort of come at a bad time, man. And we're talking about quite substantial injuries. Alisson, Trent, Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones, one of their best players this season, injured. Szoboszlai, who's not been good in good form, but from a defensive perspective, helps them injured as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they manage the absences. Man.
Especially with the whole
and Jota as well, man. That's a big.
That's a big one for them. But you know, the whole Klopp leaving, energy boost. You never know, man. It might put a fire in people's stomachs. They might go crazy. This really interesting super chat here from Alex. Bayern, apologies if I've butchered that. Conor Bradley has to play right back. Trent has to play mid or hold bench. Bradley, honestly,
This is where they go too far.
Bradley, honestly, undroppable. Paul gonna walk away with a bag of trophies.
Bruv, give us Trent. If you don't appreciate him, give us Trent. What are you talking about, whole bench? See, now, man, people are getting too far. You're out here saying you don't want to see Reece James again.
I didn't say
Donny
I didn't say I didn't want to see Reece
Donny saying
James
don't want
again.
to see Trent. What's
I
going
said
on
Reece
here?
James, go and get healthy.
God
A healthy
damn.
Reece James is a crazy Reece James. Reece James needs to be tipped up healthy.
That's poor.
That's not poor. That's not poor at all.
form.
Bro, that's
How
not
can
poor
you
at all.
say or hold bench? And I just saw he wrote bench in
Yeah, a
capital
couple
letters.
letters.
This guy's a sick man, you know.
Trent is a playmaking machine. He has to start.
Bro, listen. That's a lot of Premier League stuff. Villa did what they needed to do. They went fourth, right? Big up Villa. Ollie Watkins
Fair play
brace.
to him.
Ollie Watkins brace.
13 Prem goals this
Listen,
season.
man. Killer.
Kane, if you don't win leagues,
Let me guess, he should start. And then I've been here before, and I don't care. How many times do we have to do this shit? A couple years ago, it was Tammy Abraham. Then it was Callum
I
Wilson.
never
then
said
it's
Tammy
this.
Abraham.
No. I'm just saying this. All it takes is an English striker to
Steph
catch form.
upon
Oh, should so and so start ahead of King?
Hazard.
I ain't even English, so bro, whatever. Start him. I ain't even English. My striker's
man.
Osherman.
Bro,
Yeah.
and how's that going?
Damn.
How did it go for us, bruv?
Oh, shit, man.
Now.
All right, cool. I've got two super chats here that will lead us nicely to the next topic. O'Malley goes, Tuchel's UCL's looking Di Matteo-ish.
Boy,
is-
when I was saying Tommy Tukes, I was getting abused by your fan base, bruv. I was getting abused.
and then-
No.
Tommy Tukes,
And then look what happened, bruv.
And
Tommy
then Ethan
Tukes,
DeVillas
bruv.
has come back again and goes, oh my God, what happened to Tuchel? And says, Alonso is looking like a prime candidate for real men if he seals the deal. By the way, comes that trim. The trim, they've been getting at you. They said that the corners are not looking a bit cornerish still.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they're saying still. But Tommy Tukes, they're basically saying that he might be, they're holding internal talks after the game. He's getting sacked soon, man.
Who?
He might, Tuchel.
He's a hot Tuchel is, bruv.
I think the writing's on the wall.
Boy, it's ominous now, innit? It's just looking a bit peak.
I just don't know how they're going to do it because they're still playing.
They're paying
Actually,
Nagelsmann,
I think
innit?
they're still paying. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. People was telling me, no, it's
If Nagelsmann gets another job,
a German
yeah.
job, but like I'm fairly certain they're still paying him.
They
If
must
They
be.
sacked
Who?
Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann.
So they're still going to
Man
have to
said,
pay.
Flick, they're paying.
Yeah, but I was thinking,
They're still
what?
going to have to pay Tuchel. So
It's so mad. But what? Again, I'm not trying to make this all a Harry Kane conversation, but
you're gonna.
if anyone that saw the games today saw the chance missed at the end, the chance missed when they were 1-0 up, and obviously his form's been a bit indifferent at the moment. We said at the beginning of the season that how mad would it be if he goes there, Spurs do stuff when the season's going well, and he doesn't. Like, how mad is this potential situation that they've signed him for how much? He's there now, and it now looks like this is the 1 year and how many 10 seasons?
Yeah, it could be super
your
like,
goal.
incredibly like humiliating for him. Like it will be a gut punch to him if they don't get
Gut
this
punch.
title.
This is like
And
a
it'll,
spirit
and
bomb
in
on his
another
head.
way, it'll hit Spurs as well. They'll just say
Why?
the Spurs gene went to Bayern.
That's fine.
That's crazy,
Whatever.
you know. You're not dodging that. Even though Kane's somewhere else,
I
you guys
mean,
ain't dodging them allegations, bro. And the fact
they
that
can
they took
say-
Dyer as well, your other boy.
They can say what they want. Dyer was unwanted. Kane, his contract was running. They bought Kane. Like it's whatever.
That's your goat. It hurts though, innit? That's your goat.
Don't lie, it does hurt to see
Listen,
it.
it'll hurt me. If I saw Van Nistelrooy doing this, it'll hurt me too.
Listen,
But he went and won
of
trophies
course-
when he left us. You know what I mean?
Listen, of course, Harry Kane. Yeah, I've got Listen, with Harry Kane, yeah, I've got a lot of time for Harry Kane, right? But he chose to go to Bayern, right? If it doesn't work out for him, fine. He's gonna hold corner and stuff. What I don't like is the whole like the disingenuous takes and stuff. But I've come to expect it. I've almost come to
What's
expect
the disingenuous
The
takes?
disingenuous, like he's the reason why they're struggling. this, that, and the third. I'm just like, come on, man. Like, I get
But
this
the thing
banter and
is,
stuff,
let's be honest, right? Kane lived a lot of hypotheticals. In terms of, we saw what Kane does. He scores the goals. He does the numbers.
Yeah.
But the thing about Harry Kane was always, if he played for, imagine, put Kane in City. Put Kane in this team. Yeah. Put Kane in that he's doing the same thing. I've said the same thing as well at points.
And
but
then
now
this
is basically removing any hypothetical you can ever have of Harry Kane and just showing him for who people are. People are going to now look at him, hold cold hard facts that you do not win. You are not a winner. And you know what I mean? Because the hypotheticals is now removed now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's the peak.
But it's both sides because it's like.
But you've spoken about Tommy Tukes, right? You've spoken about Leroy Sané, no goal in like 13 or 14 games. Like the team, he's gone to Bayern, and we're talking about a manager who won the league by 1 point last season, courtesy of a
was it 1 point or goal difference?
I think, was it goal difference or was it 1 point?
It was something
courtesy of like a disaster class from Dortmund. And this season continuing the same trend of not really controlling games, not really playing the Bayern way. So like there's context to it, but obviously football fans aren't going to apply context. They're just going to go for the jugular and it's whatever.
I think it'll be super unfortunate after I stood up here and put cases against Lewandowski and all of these things for Harry Kane to go to a league that they've won the title 10 years in a row to lose to Xavi
After what
Alonso.
he did at the World Cup as well for England. It's not looking good for Hazard, yo. It's not looking good. Right. It's really not looking good. But that's what I mean. That's what happens. Spurs. It's infectious. You know what I'm saying?
You keep saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's infectious.
You keep saying this.
You know when they're saying that Pogba's a virus. What is Harry Kane a virus too?
Because do you know what it is, yeah? You see the ones that went on to succeed from Spurs, they were like imports. They were bought in Modric.
Stop
it.
They
didn't grow up with the Spurs blood.
Can you stop?
It didn't develop like that.
Can you stop?
Can you stop? I mean, not saying you're not Haaland. I don't even know what Spurs is academy.
Can you stop?
And you go take it down there.
Can you
come on, man.
Stop?
You know what I'm saying? Because Bale did it, Modric did it, Berbatov, they all went carry.
Okay, so
they weren't ingrained.
So can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? What more could Harry Kane be doing for Bayern? Tell me.
Putting away sitters.
He's got 30. He's got like 29 goals in like 30 games.
But you know when they always, you know when Kane gets questioned, he does that at Spurs, right? The goals. But look, Bayer Leverkusen, those are the moments where grab the game by the scruff of the neck.
Away from home when your team's not set up. You don't get
Didier Drogba used to do it. Big players used to do it. Rooney, these players used to do it. Harry Kane, he always seems to fall short in them moments. Champions League as well, the last Champions League game. These are where Harry Kane's
Which last Champions League game?
Didn't they just lose in the Champions League?
Oh, you're talking about for Bayern?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I can't lie.
And you know what happened in your final as well. So
you mean when he came back from like a 4-month layoff?
Did he have to start? Did he have to?
Shouldn't have started.
What he should have done is...
Shouldn't have started.
He should have been a bigger man.
But there we go. He should have said to Poch, I'm the leader of this team. I'm going to start Lucas Moura. I understand. But you know what he said? I want to be.
Oh, you were there. You were there. You were there.
Harry Kane.
So you were flying the wall in the dressing room. That's what he said.
I'm just saying.
This
I
got
sources. I got told by sources.
You can't golden boot your way out of this one.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't lie to you. You can't golden boot his way out of this one.
All right, take the conversation. You lot are bringing this conversation to me. Take the conversation to him. Am I his lawyer or something? He don't even play for the team. Why are Spurs getting stick for Harry Kane? Harry Kane left us to go to Bayern. Why are our club getting stick for Harry Kane?
Would you take him back?
I'm not answering the question.
Why? Would you take him back?
Of course I would.
You would?
Of course I would. Absolutely I would. He's a world class. He's the best striker on the planet.
Would some play on the wing?
He's the best striker on the planet. Of course I would take him back.
Does some play left wing then?
No, I have him in rotation with Son. I have him in rotation with Son and I'll get wingers.
Trophies, you know?
I'll get wingers.
So now it's starting to look a bit... But he's got to win the Euros. He has to win the Euros to England, or he has to.
Why we?
He's been in Germany for a year. He's seen all the stadiums.
Yeah, you know the language. You know the facilities.
Yeah, you know the facilities. You know what to do.
Everything, bro. You better tell
he's done opposition research.
Yeah, he's done opposition research.
We already got Jude there as well.
You are actually ridiculous.
No, I'm
Why
not.
do you keep saying one player must win this,
Bro,
that, and
he
the other?
has to.
It's a team achievement.
Because Kane's legacy, Kane's legacy.
It's a team achievement,
It has
bro.
too much of a black mark on it. It has too much of a stain.
too much
You know,
asterisk.
everyone has a stain on their career, right? Everyone does. People talk about Drogba's goal ratio. People talk about Henry in finals. R9 never won a Champions League. All this type of stuff. Kane's is the worst of them all, bro. No zero trophies. Then you go to Bayern and they leave with 0. Bayern
After
Munich.
10 years undefeated.
No, forget the league. They're not even winning the Pokal.
Oh, his first game,
Tommy
they lost it.
Bro,
Tommy Tukes.
They lost the Super Cup.
Tommy Tukes. I'm not even sure if Harry Kane played in the
He
Pokal.
came on.
He came on.
He came on in the Super Cup
He's
and they
earned the
lost.
in the Pokal, not in the Super Cup.
Oh, I don't know in the poke. Either way, bro, this is contagious, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? It's contagious.
It's Harry Kane's fault they lost.
I'm just saying, bro.
Let me do the super chat quickly. RAK says, guys, this Tuchel manager is not surprising to me. This guy has Dortmund blood in his veins. He hates Bayern and he wants them to fall from grace. We've also got another one that says, from Frankie, fast hands and exorcism, that's what's needed at Bayern. The curse of White Hat Lane is real, contagious and lethal. Kane is only possessed. It's not his fault.
Boy, I feel sorry for him, man. He sacrificed Shearer's record to not win. That's crazy.
He's going to win trophies at Bayern. Stop it.
Yeah, he
win
has
trophies.
to.
No, he's going to win trophies at Bayern.
He must.
He has to.
He's going to win trophies at
Yeah,
Bayern.
he
What
must.
are we doing here? Of
He
course
has
he
to.
must.
Remember, he has to, though. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah, he does have to for his legacy, but he's going to. He's going to win
I don't know.
trophies at
Now I
Bayern.
feel like because he didn't win it the first season, it might still be stained.
Oh, really? All right, let's
it might be
put money
stained.
on it then. If you're
It might be stained.
All right, put money on it.
What do you mean by what can I put? That it's going to be a stained trophy?
No. I want you to put money on it that he's not going to win trophies.
I didn't
at
say
Bayern.
that though.
That's what you're implying.
No, I'm not. I'm
So what are you implying?
I'm just saying if he wins it now after not winning it on the 11 times in a row, it's going to look a bit stained. It's going to be like,
I don't know.
Hey, listen.
yeah.
It just feels like more loopholes that you're trying to use to sort of.
Anyway,
flock
just
in.
deliver the Euros for me, Harry.
Top
I would
right.
appreciate it.
Are you-
I'd
you're
call
England
you
fan, yeah?
Sir Harry.
You're
You know
England
what I
fan,
mean?
yeah?
This summer I'll be an England
Oh,
fan,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
I'll be an England fan this
Because you were
summer.
holding your Euros 2004 signed Wayne Rooney. This guy, shut up, man. This dickhead, bro. You were just champion in Nigeria a week ago. Now you're telling me I'm going to be England fan
Hey,
this
dual
summer.
nationality.
Dickhead,
Dual
bro, man.
nationality.
Oh, man. We
Hey.
just had a super chat coming from
If
top
you don't
right.
like it, get out of our country, mate. If you don't like
If you don't like this
get
country,
out.
leave.
Bro,
If you don't like this
get out,
country,
mate.
leave.
You're enjoying our NHS, aren't you? You know what I mean? You're
Boy.
enjoying it,
man.
aren't you? Get out,
Top
mate.
right says, I feel for Toby with Kane. It's like raising a bird then setting it free into the wild, but as soon as it leaves your hands, a falcon swoops down on it. It's sad. Nah, I hear it. Come. It's that time of the show. Let us know who your champs and duds are this week. I've got a few duds, if you don't mind me listing them out.
I've got one.
Holgate,
Oh, bro, you should
You
be bad for
are-
the rest of the season.
you are a dud.
Horrific.
The referee in that game, you are also a dud.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Phillips.
Oh my days, he's having the worst loan of all time.
Hey, someone said, one of the West Ham fans, you know, like, for Essex, man said, this ain't no Yorkshire Pearl, this is Yorkshire pudding.
It's peak. It's
That's
peak.
crazy. That's crazy. That's a Yorkshire pudding. That's crazy.
Peak, bro.
Yeah, he's a dud as well.
There's a big one that you're missing.
Go on.
Dayot Upamecano. He's had. When I say if you could describe a week in hell for a centre back, this is it. 2 red cards, 2 penalties conceded, and you are directly responsible for mistakes that have led to your team conceding goals and losing the game of football. It's
You know, he
2
just
games of
held racist abuse though.
yeah, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Yeah, we don't.
We're laughing at
we're
the
condemning
stutter.
racial.
We're
abuse,
laughing at
right?
the stutter. We're not laughing at the issue. We're laughing
That's
at the
not
stutter.
Bro, it's not good, man. Listen, kick it out.
That's not
No
right.
to racism.
Yeah.
He shouldn't receive any
That's
of
not
that.
right.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But last season he had a bad moment as well when the Haaland that City fixture it was so bad. Like he needs to snap out of it real quick. But 2 red cards, that's mad. I haven't.
You got any duds?
I was gonna put it as Holgate actually.
Yeah.
Bro, he should be banned for the rest of the season, bro.
That's a terrible
Horrible.
challenge.
He's a
I don't
nasty.
know
And then
what
he had
he's
he had the audacity to say what?
He's a nasty guy, man.
He had the audacity to
So
say
cheeky.
what?
So cheeky.
Thomas Tukes, I'll put dud as well. 'Cause he's
Who?
probably
That's your
Thomas
boy.
Tukes.
It's your boy, innit?
Listen, man, you got to take it as it goes. You get me? He's wearing red now. He's not wearing blue anymore. You get me? So time has passed. Tommy Tukes will be there. Champs. I've got to give a champ to Pedro Neto, man.
Oh, baller, man.
Gotta give a champ to Pedro Neto. I have to. Some of the performance we're seeing, he's up there with one of the best wingers in the league. And it's one of those things where a lot of people have spoken about the injuries and everything, but you just need to watch him play. That goal, the breakaway, the cut in, the layoff, I was like, that is wing play. That is elite wing play. So I'll give him one. I'll give Nunes a champ for that chimp as well. I wasn't expecting
Great finish.
Great finish. But I see that he's crazy. Only a crazy person would do that. So I've got to give him a champ for that because I thought he was going to squander that. Trying to think of anything else.
Probably say that's about it. Højlund for breaking the record.
Yeah, it's a good
You
champ.
know what?
record.
He's not I'm not his biggest fan, but I must admit he's come leaps and bounds in the last 18 months, and I think I have to give Ollie Watkins a champ of the week this week because
Good old Ollie.
Aston Villa, like they've been going through a rough time recently, and to go away to Fulham and to get the 3 points, you scored 2 goals. Like that's big for your team.
But your
13 Prem goals. So
Your fans cooked me when I said he should be signed instead of Kane.
They cooked me as well.
what do you mean instead of Kane?
When I said
Once
when
Kane
Kane
was
left,
lost
I said,
by-
"Yo,
by
look into Watkins."
Watkins.
And
I
your
mean,
fans
listen,
obliterated
one of my mates, he's a big Watkins fan, and listen, it's looking, yeah.
You don't want to rate him, innit?
Yeah.
No, I
He's
think
decent,
he's
good.
I think he's a good striker. I think he's a good striker who's up the levels, but I just feel like he's gonna cost too much money for the money he would cost. I don't know, man. I feel like they're a
Do
better.
you know the
strikers out
reason
there.
why I always thought it'd be great for Spurs is because typically for Villa, since Emery's spoken to him, he's doing this number 9 thing. But he's always been this player that can do stuff out wide and do everything. And I think for Spurs, you need those sort of players that can play different profiles. I thought it would have been perfect for you, but you're right, it cost too much.
Also,
I
we
forgot
had
some
we had
dots.
about 5 point something K in here
Yeah,
today
yeah.
as well. That's
Yeah,
big,
so
guys.
big
Make
that
sure
up.
you hit the likes. I swear, if we don't have 1K likes,
No,
we
we got one.
ops.
We got 1K likes.
Yeah? Okay.
I've got another champ. Adingra, got a brace off the comeback from
Adingra hype,
Africa.
man.
I like
Obviously,
him.
Adingra
He's a
hype.
good
Yeah,
player.
good player. But there's a dud that we have to mention. I'm so sorry.
Pascal Gross is a champ, man. He's the best.
He said,
in
"I'm
the
so
world."
sorry."
No, are Sheffield United going to concede 100 goals?
Well, how many have they conceded?
And like
They
65
conceded
now.
65.
65
Yeah,
now.
65.
Conceded 65.
Yeah. Are they going to concede 100 goals?
Did you lot, do you remember there was a Sheffield United fan, and I always have to bring it up every time. Last season when we lost to Sheffield United in the League Cup, I did a stream and I said there's no lineup we should play that should be losing to Sheffield United's
Yeah, so I remember that. You
second
picked that guy, yeah.
string team.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, Premier League arrogance. Where does this guy get off? This is that." And the third. Now look at them. They come out to the league and they're literally getting
65
smacked
goals.
up by every single team.
Back-to-back
Smacked
five-piece,
up.
right?
Yeah.
Back-to-back
Smacked
five-piece.
up.
Burnley getting cooked at home like that is
Horrible.
They are so bad. Yeah, I was gonna say
Some of their
listen,
fans calling for a company to get
Yeah,
sacked.
I don't want to be bad man to Luton because Luton, I guess they're the minnows and they didn't really like. They're trying to do a thing, but
Yeah.
yo, you know this could be the. I remember when they came up. When these teams came up, I said this could be the worst 3 to ever come up.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh no, Burnley are this." I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And this could be the first time since 1997, 98
All 3 go
that
down.
all 3 go down, bro.
Yeah. It's mad.
You know what I mean?
That's
I
mad.
think it was Crystal Palace, Bolton,
Burnley are pathetic.
and
The way they play, they're
But
pathetic.
do you want, if you want me to be honest, yeah,
Blackburn, maybe.
Pathetic. I
to
can't
round
lie.
this up, I feel like Burnley know that they're going down, get parachute payment, their team will be good enough to come back again, then you get the right profiles in. I think they know they're going down already, I'll be honest. The Sheffield one, I think they know they're going down as well, so there's one place up for grabs. Those 2 teams are not playing like teams that want to stay in the Premier League. Get the P's up and then reinvest in your team. But listen, man, that's another show.
Big up Tobes,
Tob,
man. Big up
thank you
Tobes.
for coming, man. Let the people
Big
know
up
where
Tobes,
they
big
can
up
find
Tobes.
you,
Yeah,
what
let
you're
them know where they
working
can
on,
find
you
you,
know.
bro.
Tapping
I'm sure they
Tobes
know.
on all socials, Instagram, aka X, Twitter, Instagram, X, aka Twitter, and I don't even use my TikTok, so I'm not even gonna promote my TikTok. But find me on my YouTube channel or find me on the Big Six. Literally.
Big up Big
Big
Six.
up,
well,
bro.
big up Turkish was inside as well.
Yeah,
Trying to get a bit of evidence on Toby for tomorrow. So
But he
big
didn't
up.
reply to my text.
But listen, that's another show, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and as ever, listen. There's a lot of stuff we're doing. So if you have any ideas or things that you want us to do, make sure you drop us messages. We've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline as well. We will be back next week. We're out.